almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. These doubts like they're playing cards close to my chest. Turn them round for the river and hope it's something that I won't regret. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing.
Get on with the show. A little off-centered, aren't I? Hello. This isn't real. Don't worry. I'm trying it out because I want to get... Oh, and now I'm like all... making it lopsided. It's magnetic. Ooh. Because I want to get my septum pierced, but I don't know. I'm just trying it out. Hi, guys. Happy to see you. In this circumstance, maybe I'm not that happy to see everybody. Well, no, I'm happy to see you guys. It's just the circumstance sucks. So today, as you can see, we're talking about Jessie Lee Ward. Oh, is my audio low? Oh my god, it is. Here, I'll turn it up. Is that better? Check, check, check. Hey! Okay, my levels look better now. Does it sound better? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, make sure you switch over to live chat instead of top chat. I have to do that. Is it better? Is this better? I just turned it up again. Hello? It's very low? Okay. Louder. Okay, hold on. Let me try something. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, it's better? Okay. All right. Maybe the song was just like, I had it turned up too loud or something. Yeah, because here, actually I can do it this way. Check, 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 check. Is that better? No, you guys are all still a bit quiet. Much better. Okay. Well, see, now it's saying my levels are like up in the red, y'all, so, okay. I might actually, here, I am gonna turn myself, I'll leave myself here. And then when the video starts playing, I'll just make sure the levels look like they're... Anyway. You want to be friends on Pokemon Go? Hell yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, guys. I don't know if I've mentioned this on this channel before, but Jessie Lee was hinting at this series that she's doing where she's talking about... She's going to be, like, live vlogging her cancer journey, and... Yeah, it's wild. most of this doesn't really have to do with anti-MLM stuff, but it's like, to me, it's just like really fascinating. So I thought we could all watch it together so we don't have to give her, however many hundreds of people are in here. We got 400 people in here. What's up? So that 400 views don't have to go her way. This video, I have watched it because I had to go through and make sure everything was blurred. She like legitimately shows pictures of her holding blood clots like that are the size of her palm. It's wild. So I cut all that out. Well, I mean, I didn't cut it out. I blurred it and then like took the saturation down so you can't see the red. You basically can't see anything. But I didn't, first of all, I don't want YouTube to get mad at me for showing something like that because this isn't necessarily educational, but I think her video could be considered educational. So she could probably get away with it. This live stream probably couldn't. And then also I just don't want to gross anyone out or trigger anybody. So, but yeah, speaking of triggers though, she is, parts of this video gets pretty emotional. It gets pretty sad. So if, you know, medical stuff bothers you, graphic descriptions of medical anything, or if just cancer in general, discussing the topic and anything like that bothers you, then I would say probably not the live stream for you. This probably isn't the video for you to be watching. So, yeah. But, yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah. Clots from where? Well, it's weird. She'll explain it, but, like, she talks about it like it's coming out of her cooter. But then she says it's from the tumor, which we all know was in her butt. And to me, I'm like, how do you not know if giant blood clots, how do you not know if it's coming from your butt or your cooter? Like, I know the holes are close together, but, like, you know that, right? Like, we all know when things are coming from, okay? Anyway, make sure you like the stream. And we're going to get started here. What's up, Jessie Lee? I'll see how much you can watch. Yeah, lots of triggers here. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware. And I might have to, like, let this play and then put just a trigger warning at the bottom here just in case people join in later. So, all right, I will press play and we will hear Jessie Lee talk about her very sad cancer journey. Here we go.
You're about to hear a story that will be impossible to
Is the audio okay like this?
All in the same breath.
No, she's probably still quiet.
Ward, and this is my battle with
How's this?
stage 4
Is this better?
colon cancer, from first symptoms to diagnosis to where I am today. In this video, I'm going to discuss all the symptoms that led up to this experience.
Yeah,
my
she's
diagnosis,
making this a
the
series.
process through all of it. I'm going to get you dates, stories, everything, the doctors, whatever, to try and kind of answer a lot of questions for people who are maybe going through something similar or are worried about something similar or think everything is fine that's going on in their life and so much more.
Okay,
this
hold on.
is a story
I'm
that
adding
I've never
a
really told
little
in
content
the
warning
way
at the
that I'm
bottom
going
here.
to throughout this video. I'm going to
I don't
give
know where it's gonna
details
show
that
up
I
on the
never
screen,
did
but-
before. I'm going to talk to you about
okay, there
a
it
lot of
is.
stuff that I can't put in short TikTok videos or little clips in live videos or even make posts really, because it all just gets lost in space everywhere. And so I decided to come on YouTube and tell all of you super open, super transparently, super honestly, all of the things that have led up to where I am today. Time of recording is end of June
that's probably good,
2023
right?
and beyond. So make sure you follow, you subscribe, you ring the bell, you do all the things, because this is just part one.
Should have done this
I'm going to
before,
walk you
but-
through everything, but I think that if I do this in little 20-minute videos, it might be a good way for you to really see and hear my
She
heart
does look
and,
sad, and
the messaging
I
of
mean,
everything that went
she
on
should.
and just take you step by step. So my goal really of this is to provide not only hope and energy to people, but
Kimberly,
some
thank you for
insight
joining.
for those of you who might be facing a similar journey or a loved one is facing a similar journey. Let you know there are options and tell you things that I wish I had done, things that I'm glad I did, and so many things in between. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to use a cheat sheet, aka my phone, because
Yeah, I want to add too, because you guys, I see a lot of people talking about her hair. To me, I just feel like it looks like it needs to be brushed. Like, I don't think it necessarily looks unhealthy. Like, I think it's almost like she's going for that beachy look, but like it just looks crispy instead, you know? I don't, I don't actually think that she's, I don't think it has anything to do with her health necessarily. And usually, like, the cancer patients usually only really start losing their hair once they start chemotherapy, right? And she's said multiple times that she is not going to do chemotherapy.
Dates are crazy, and I think that you're going to see how really wild this journey is. So, back in May 2022, I decided to embark on a fitness journey, a health journey, a wellness journey. I am a really high-level entrepreneur. If you don't follow me anywhere else, you can follow me all these places.
A really
Instagram,
high
Facebook,
level.
TikTok, whatever.
I thought you were number one, Jessie. Are you the highest level, or are you just really high? You know what I'm saying? Has she abandoned I'm the number one network marketer in the world? You know, now it's just like, oh, I'm really high up there. That's all you need to know. I'm just really high up there.
I'm on stages often. I'm a high-level entrepreneur. I own traditional businesses, top network marketer.
Sorry, that's
I own a coaching company. I do a lot. And by doing a lot, which is awesome and amazing and exciting, what's also just very real is I felt like I was a image for a lot of people of what you would want to be as a business owner, or how you would want your bank account to look maybe, or how you would want maybe friendships to look. I had great friendships. Or how you would want to travel and see the world, or if you hear my dog, maybe be the best dog moms ever.
She thinks that she's like a shining example for all of those things, because no. Like, bank account, maybe. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, Jessie Lee is the shining example of what I want my bank account to look like. But, like, your friendships are fake and weird, honestly. Like, with Sasha and Mateo, like, that's just strange. Yeah. I don't know. She's probably a fine, decent dog mom. As far as how she runs her business, I don't think anyone should look up to her. I mean, come on. She has said some really nasty stuff. Literally, the reason that she even, like, went viral in the first place is because she did that Tubby Time live. Do you guys remember? From all, like, years ago, she got in a bathtub and went on Facebook Live and did, like, an MLM training or whatever. Yeah. So people were like, what's this crazy lady in a bathtub doing? Sheila, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. You know what that means.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Seems a little weird to be like... The topic of conversation today is, like, not happy. I think that song's gonna have to be some comic relief today, huh? Thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Tubby Time is basically what made her famous, dude. She got in a bathtub, did an MLM training, and she was just like, don't you want, like, I am the shining example of how everyone should be running their business. No. If everyone was following what you were doing, they'd be all recruiting and doing shit from their bathtubs. And she was, like, fully clothed, too. She was wearing, like, a hoodie. But she credits that to, like, oh, I'm just so popular because I just, like, do things that other people don't want to do. And it's like, Jessie, there's kind of a reason why other people don't do that. So, you know. Yeah, that's going to have to be a palate cleanser. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bad, ugly, dark humor is how we survive. Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm going to take this. These, metal septum things. Yeah, if you didn't know, this isn't real. But they are kind of uncomfortable after a while. So I'm not going to wear that. I kind of like it, though. I'll probably get it done eventually. Anyway.
But for me, I also looked at myself and I said, well, you know, I'm part of a health and wellness company. And I'm number one in the health and wellness company. And I don't think that I look like...
Wait, okay, so she's number one in the health and wellness company, but not only is she not like the top rank, she's got other people who are higher ranked than her. Maybe she's excuse me. Maybe she's number one in sales, if anything. But she's not even the top rank, and prove it. But suddenly she's like, number one, gotta drop that somewhere. But no, suddenly I'm not the number one network marketer in the world. I'm just number one and prove it, even though I'm not even the top rank, but other people are. So, yep, that's interesting. Oh, you thought this thing was real? Yeah, no, I bought them on Amazon. I have a lot of different ones, so I'm just like trying them all out to see if I like it or not.
Like health and wellness, and I was frustrated with it because I was never somebody who loved to eat all the time. I was never a I'm not a big meal person. I don't know how else to describe that. Maybe you are too. I don't know. You can comment below. But I've always just kind of been like, yeah, 1 meal a day, maybe a snack or something like that. It's
1 meal a day?
whatever. And I always liked working out, but I never, even with all of this, sometimes crazy dieting or whatever. I used to do bodybuilding competitions even in the early, or like 2012 or something like that, 2013. I always had to work way harder than everybody else to even get results. And I always felt inflamed and whatever. So 2022 May, I start testing my blood and I'm working with a blood doctor, or a guy who reads blood basically. And so this is a biohacking doctor. I'm not going to bash him, nor am I going to promote him because I do not recommend him. Had he, I don't want to say done his job, if he would really looked at my blood, he would have seen things like a vitamin D deficiency that was really dramatic. He did actually notice.
Okay, so this screenshot, I know because DC covered this earlier. Say hello to DC. She's a wonderful content creator. You guys should go follow her. But anyway, someone, I think she blew this up and was looking at the values here. She's getting ready to say that she has a vitamin C deficiency. But they were looking at this, and people in the chat who are much smarter than myself and DC when it comes to medical stuff were saying that like her vitamin D levels and stuff were in the normal range. So she's sitting here like talking shit about a doctor, which I'll have to see. Actually, let me see if this is one of the ones that DC sent me. I'll press play while I look for it. But yeah, she's talking shit about this doctor being like, oh, if he had actually done his job and actually looked at what was going on with me, then maybe we wouldn't even be in this situation. It's like, but you're, according to like basic standards of health, like you seem to be, according to that chart, you don't have any deficiencies. So also, yeah, a biohacking doctor is pseudoscience. Biohacking is a real thing. I had to do research on it for, I think, my Amari deep dive because they're always talking about biohacking, unless it was Velovita. I don't remember. It was one of those two. But like, I mean, biohacking can mean like a lot of different things. It sounds like crazy futuristic stuff, but generally it can just mean like, I don't know, changing up a routine to get better sleep or something like that. Like, I don't know. But if you go to someone who calls themselves a biohacking doctor, yeah, I'd question that for sure.
Vitamin D deficiency at the very first blood test in May 2022, although he ignored it and said, and actually asked if I was depressed. Maybe you've heard me talk about that before, but he said, hey, like, do you have a hard time getting out of bed each day? And I said, well, I mean, like, I guess, like, yeah, I get tired, of course, but doesn't everybody get tired that's a high performance entrepreneur? So kind of like red flag number one I missed was I was definitely tired. I was definitely exhausted. That's a really big symptom. But I've been exhausted. I mean, I'm always a grinder. I'm always working hard. I'm sleeping not a lot. I'm working 18, 20-hour days a lot of the time. And it's the lifestyle I chose. So I just kind of ignored that.
I thought you had time freedom. Do you have time freedom, or are you working 18, 20-hour days and not sleeping? Which one is it? These people contradict themselves all the time, and it's so obnoxious.
But I did find out later that especially women, if your vitamin D is very low, which he did end up supplementing, I was injecting vitamin D, and it helped with my energy for sure. I found out, I guess you could say the hard way, that is definitely
DC,
a sign
thank you.
Of cancer. So
for the donos, I'll check
I guess
right
your
now.
body takes the vitamin D. Don't quote me on all that. But anyway, it sucks the vitamin D to basically use energy. So wish that had been noticed in May 2022. But anyway, I go on a health journey. So I was using peptides, which I love. I'm a big fan of peptides. If you're not already familiar, you can check out. I can refer you to some people, honestly, in the peptide space that are really amazing and incredible people. Maybe I'll find some links or something for that for you guys. But I love peptides. I love biohacking. I love all this stuff. And I was very familiar with the world.
Peptides.
So, I felt like I was in good hands and I was losing weight, but I was trying to lose weight. I was finally losing this inflammation. I had done food sensitivity tests with him, and I found out that a lot of the stuff that I was eating a lot of the time was really inflaming me. Vegetables, my stomach just really couldn't handle. And
okay, lots of things here. Aspen, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. So she was just, well, first of all, she was like, vegetables don't agree with me, but right now what we know is she's like constantly juicing. Like she basically does like juice fasting. Like she drinks so much juice every single day, and there's celery juice especially because she's on that medical medium shit. But yeah, she's drinking vegetable juice like all the time. So like, what changed? How was it? I mean, listen, I don't know because I'm not a medical professional. So like, maybe cancer. Does it feed off of vegetable? That doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't add up. Like, she can't be like, oh, I'm not inflamed anymore because I found out what's actually wrong with me and now I can eat vegetables. Like, unless I'm wrong about that. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. So if you go back on her Facebook and, like, because I made... It was one of the videos I made about her over the past few months. But, like, I ended up going to her Facebook page and, like, looking through all of her old... just her photos and stuff, and she's been posting about like going to the gym, working out, like getting healthy, trying to lose weight, being on a weight loss journey for like at least, I think I scrolled back 10 years looking for something. I don't remember what I was looking for, but I was scrolling back through all of her pictures for a long time. Lots of gym selfies, lots, you know. So like, it's really odd to me that she's like, yeah, so, you know, suddenly I just found something out where I started biohacking and suddenly I was dropping a ton of weight. And it's like, in hindsight, like looking at, she's been a gym rat forever and she's been trying to eat healthy forever. She's been on these fad diets and whatever. For her to have like a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago, she finally started losing weight. It's really sad, but like we can all look back now and know exactly what it was. And I think she's going to start talking about that here too, but it's like, it all makes sense. Unfortunately, like she thought that she finally found a routine that worked for her that was helping her drop a ton of weight, when really she was just essentially like, her body was like starving itself because colon cancer. And that's fucking heartbreaking and scary, really scary. Like it's... Jessie Lee Ward is, I think she's 4 years older than me. So for her to be going through this, and I think for anyone who, I mean, all of us, right? Who don't have colon cancer, look at someone like her and we're just like, holy shit. Like, she's in her 30s. Like, I shouldn't be worrying about having stage 4 cancer right now. But like, it just really puts into perspective the reality of like, this could happen to anybody. Oh my God. It is really, really upsetting. But okay.
Would inflame me, so I went back to basically carnivore, and then I would still eat some carbs, right? So it wasn't really carnivore, but I was eating a lot of fruits, and just kind of living my life, and I was losing weight, and over 9 months up until diagnosis, or I guess 8 months, 9 months, I had probably lost about 25-30 pounds, and I didn't look too skinny at the time. I didn't look, I didn't look like I was ill until basically January. But yeah, I was getting complimented because it was really what I was trying to look like again. I felt like I was not having to work as...
That is way too skinny. Like that first picture that I was thinking like, oh, actually that does look good. She looks healthy there. And then she switches to this one and it's like, no, you very clearly were way too skinny.
Hard. I felt like, yes, the peptides were helping, but then also the diet changes were helping and the removing of inflammatory foods was helping. And so I didn't really think anything about it. And then I said, you know what, I really want a full body MRI. And this is where it kind of gets interesting. So I said, oh, I want a full body MRI just because if in the future I want to have energy like I have right now, or my body to look like it is right now, let's say 10, 20 years from now, well then I want to be able to show the doctors my blood work. I want to be able to show them an MRI and say, this is where I was. The other thing is that in 2009, I found out I have a brain tumor. It's right here. It's just in my pituitary gland, and it's not exciting. It's a benign tumor.
So that, I know I've heard Erin talk about that before, but that's not something that she doesn't talk about that very much. I don't know if she's ever really talked about it publicly. Like, I don't know if we all know about it just because Erin knew about it, because Erin was, like, closer with her than any of us ever have been. So, yeah, I don't really know if y'all know, but I feel like I remember hearing that, but that's kind of shocking. And then I wonder, like, having been diagnosed with another kind of cancer, like, does that affect a tumor that's already growing somewhere else, even if it's benign? You know, that's wild. AJ, I think she's 36, maybe 34. If she's 34, then she's only 2 years older than me. Like, damn. Yeah, pituitary gland. That's not right here, is it? Like, what? The other thing, too, is, like, regarding her weight loss, it's interesting because she was saying, like, oh, I was finally starting to, like, she said she was starting in, like, May 2022. She's like, I was, after a few months, like, I dropped 30 pounds or something, and I was finally starting to look like what I wanted to look. Like, but eventually she just kept losing, you know? She kept losing weight, and, like, it took her way too long to realize, like, okay, I don't want to lose any more weight, so why am I still losing weight, you know? I feel like there were just so many red flags that I wish she would have caught earlier, but at the same time, I also get it. Like, when you lose weight and you're, like, actively trying to, of course you wouldn't think, do a second thought about it, you know?
It's just like a little fatty deposit, and it doesn't really do anything. And I know I'm supposed to check
She's
up
34,
on it with
okay.
MRIs. I found it because I have Lyme disease, and they checked for cerebral Lyme. So that's how this was all found in 2009, or maybe 2010, whatever. I already feel like this is just like the heaviest, longest story ever. I know I'm just getting started, but
Pretty
anyway.
heavy, yeah.
So it turned out that we called countless doctors, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll get the exact number for you, actually, just for chronicling purposes. Calling all of these different clinics saying, we need an MRI, we need an MRI, we need an MRI, we need an MRI. She wants a full body MRI, she wants a full body MRI. And everybody was telling my assistant, Carissa, no, we don't do full body MRIs unless there's some kind of pre-existing condition. All of these places said no. Finally, I found Prenuvo. If you're not familiar with it, maybe you can check out a link or something. I'll link you guys below. We find Prenuvo, and Prenuvo says, well, you can do just the brain if you want to for this amount of money. I said, well, I kind of want to test everything. Breast cancer runs in my family, you know, whatever. And I had implants, and then I explanted, so I wanted to get an MRI anyway. So I said, I want 2 areas. They said, just do the full body. It's $2,500. I said, okay. So on January 10th, 2023, I went to Prenuvo for a full body MRI, basically so I could be like, yeah, this is how healthy I am.
It's so sad looking back, dude. It's so sad. Because that is such a Jessie Lee Ward thing to do, right? For her to be like, I want to just show off, like, how healthy I am. And she would, of course, be using those results to further shill her ketones. It's sad because she was doing it, like, to build her business stronger. She was doing it for the sake of profit, you know? God, put a muffler on your car. Holy crap. Yeah. And then have this happen, like, what a freaking wake-up call, dude. Wow.
And then I actually have to back it up. Because before the MRI, I've never talked about this on the internet. November 22nd, 2022, I started bleeding. Like a normal period. Like, not a big deal. The only problem is it never stopped. So I was bleeding and 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 bleeding.
We get it, Jessie.
Bleeding and bleeding. And I thought to myself, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. I'm like the cycle girl of my friends. I'm like the person who's like, if you want to get pregnant, ask me. I'll talk to you about your ovulation. Meanwhile,
Why would she be the person that anyone would go to? You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have kids. What a strange thing to say. I'm the cycle person. I don't have any kids, but, like, I'm a professional. Hey, Jessie? Why are you giving people advice on reproduction?
while I'm over here like, I don't know what's going on because I'm bleeding like crazy. And it was not just like a little bit of blood like spotting, it's like bleeding. And then, so I'd already done the full body MRI. Results took a long time. I'll talk about it in a second. But on January 16th, I took a trip to Colombia with leaders of mine. And maybe you've seen this on the internet, maybe you haven't. It was like this big Colombia Gate thing. People thought that I took these people to Colombia and I put them in danger. No one was in danger except for, ironically, me.
No one was in danger. Oh, no. If you're not caught up to date on that, I've done like 2 videos on the situation where back in, I think it was January. Yeah, she, like, I mean, we essentially all, like, called it kidnapping because that's kind of what it was. She, like, kidnapped part of her team and brought them to Colombia, forced them to go on, was it a 15-mile hike or a 15-hour hike? I don't remember, but she basically didn't prepare them for it. Some lady had diabetes, like, you know, and it was, like, 90 degrees or something, like, on the equator, like, hot as hell, walking on pavement, like, people were passing out. Dangerous situation. And then she was joking and laughing about how she made them sleep on the beach, but there's, like, human trafficking issues in Colombia, so, like, ooh, we could have gotten kidnapped, ha ha ha, like, all that. Like, it was a very irresponsible situation. And then she backed up and she's like, no, like, that's not how it was. And it's like, well, we're just, like, going off of what you said, Jessie. But anyway, that's why she's like, yeah, maybe you've heard about it on the internet. Because, yeah, it did kind of blow up. Because we're all just like, what the fuck? You, like, kidnapped people, dude? You brought them to South America? Like, that's wild. But what's more wild to me is that, so that was in, I think, was it January? 15 hours. Okay. Yeah, she told them to prepare for a 2-hour hike. It ended up being 15 hours long. Wild shit. But so if she started bleeding in November. Now, mind you, like I said at the beginning here, I did end up blurring out, you'll see here where I blurred it, and like desaturating the pictures that she shows. But let me just tell you, when she says she was bleeding, she's passing clots that were the size of her palm. She was holding them in the size of her palm. That's what the pictures are that I cut out. And trigger warning here for like pregnancy loss and stuff. So when I had my second miscarriage, I had it at home, and that was like, it's almost like even worse than what I experienced having a fucking miscarriage, which obviously is not normal. That's not something that is like a normal thing that people with uteruses go through. But that only lasted for me for like 2 or 3 hours, because that's, everything had to come out, and then once everything was out, it was fine. But like when I saw those pictures, I was like, holy fucking shit, you were dealing with this from November through the Colombia trip, which was in January. It's for like, okay, so what, like 3 months you're fucking bleeding like that? And you don't go to the doctor? You don't get help? You don't even think to like, oh, maybe this isn't normal. Yeah, no, that's not normal. Absolutely wild. Like, yeah, one of the pictures she shows, like, she has, like, toilet paper. Like, she was holding it on, like, a blood clot, huge, on a clump of toilet paper. Like, not fucking normal. So that's what she's talking about here. She is putting it so lightly, just like, ha ha, hee hee, I was bleeding. And then, not only that, she went to Colombia like this. She started bleeding in November, and then months later, she's like, this is fine, I'll just go to South America like this. Dude. Haley, thank you for the super chat. I wonder if she ignored the bleeding due to the talk going around about a certain shot that a large part of the population has gotten was affecting women's cycles. Maybe. But I thought she didn't get it. I thought she was an anti-vaxxer. Wasn't she? Isn't she? Maybe not. I don't know. But, Britta, I'm sorry if I passed one of these clots. My ass is in the car on the way to the ER. Right, yeah, and I can tell you, like, from my experience, when I had clots like that, it was literally because I was having a miscarriage. No other time in my entire life have I ever passed anything close to what she was passing, and she was passing it for, like, months straight. And went to South America like that. I know. Absolutely wild. And then it makes me wonder too, thank you again, Haley, but it makes me wonder too, like, if she had gone to the doctor for this in November, like if she started bleeding in November and then like maybe after a week of a heavy bleed like that, be like, I don't think this is normal. Maybe I should go to the doctor. Like, how far along would it have been if she had caught the cancer then as opposed to, I think she'll get to it, but I think she gets diagnosed with cancer in February. So there's like 4 months there. And as we know, cancer can progress pretty quickly. So Matt, thank you for the 2 doll hairs. Hello, my spiffy friend, missed you. Oh, thank you, Matt. Thanks for being here. All right, we'll get back to it, but yeah, I just want to make that very clear, because, like, obviously I cut those pictures out of the blood clots. I didn't want to show them to you guys. This video is on her YouTube channel. If you feel like you need to fact check me on how bad these blood clots are, by all means, go ahead and see it for yourself on her channel, but I'm not going to show them here. It's bad. So, anyway.
And I've never talked about this, so maybe that's why I got so pissed off when people were trying to demonize me on the internet for a leadership retreat that people all signed waivers for, and people all knew what they were going into, and people all knew, hey, trust Jessie Lee. Whatever. But I was the person that the day I get there, the 16th of January, I have a conversation with 2 of my best friends, and I said, something is really wrong.
Oh, were you talking about Ozempic? I thought you were talking about the vid. She, as far as we all know, she's never been on Ozempic, but she was taking like a handful of other injections every day. She made a video, and I know DC reacted to it at the time. It was on or around the same time as the Colombia trip, and she did like a like, here's all the shit that I inject into my ass every day, and it was a lot, but none of it was Ozempic. So I don't think that was a thing, but she could be hiding that. I don't know. I don't think any of this was Ozempic related. Honestly, and like, again, I'm not a medical professional. However, she lost all that weight, and I know a lot of us were like, oh yeah, she must be taking Ozempic. That's got to be what it was. But then she comes out to tell us that she has colon cancer, so I'm like, oh, like it was that. Like, we all know at this point it was that, and not anything she was doing to lose weight. It was because there was a tumor in her digestive tract, and she was essentially starving herself. In my opinion, in my non-medical opinion.
I've been bleeding for months, but now I'm bleeding clots, and I guess I'll show a picture of it.
So sorry.
And this wasn't like once, this wasn't twice, this wasn't 3 times, this was multiple times a day. These
guys,
gigantic clots.
I am so fucking sorry. I'm gonna cut this out of my replay. Oh my god. I thought, oh my god, I have the wrong one. I'm so fucking sorry. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Fuck. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. That was the wrong version. Oh. Fuck.
You're about to hear a story that will be...
I'm so sorry, you guys. Holy shit. Let me get the right version up here. I'm so fucking sorry. Oh my god. Just the jellyfish. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. I'm so sorry. 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 We're all fine, right? Is everybody okay? I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Okay, we're gonna move along. I'm pulling up the right version. Oh my god. How did I fucking click on the wrong version to show you guys? That's so embarrassing. I spent all this time like blurring it out. Britta. Thank you for the super chat, Britta, for the eye bleach you'll need after seeing that. Holy fuck. Oh my god, hold on. Do I need to like pull up a video of kittens or something right now for eye bleach? Hold on, we'll do that. I'll pull up some kittens or something. We can watch some kittens. I'm so fucking sorry. I feel so bad. Kittens. Here we go. Here's some cats. Oh, he's sucking his thumb. DC, thank you. Technical difficulties happen. I know. Oh, Austin, thank you.
Paw. Good girl, so pretty. So pretty. Ellie, so pretty. Oh,
I love cats so much. Oh my god. Oh, look at him. Oh my god. Matt, thank you. Oh, look at him. Okay. All right. I got to the real version. I'm so sorry. That was like the worst of it, but later on she does show pictures of the intestines they had cut out. Sabrina, thank you. Man, what did I miss? Cameron right as she started apologizing. Don't rewind. Whatever you do, do not rewind. I thought...
You're about to hear...
Fuck. I thought I was playing the right version of an edited video that I cut something nasty out of. And I was showing you guys the original version. Okay, so we had the eye bleach. We're good now, right? We're gonna get back to it. This is the right version, I'm pretty sure.
I took a trip to Colombia.
Okay, hold on.
And I've never talked about this. So
Okay.
maybe that's why I got so pissed off.
Fuck,
when
I'm
people
so
were trying to
sorry. Yeah,
demonize
just
me
don't
on the
rewind.
internet for
Whatever you do,
leadership
don't
retreat,
rewind. And I'm sorry.
People all signed waivers for, and people all knew what they were going into, and people all knew, hey, trust Jessie Lee. Whatever. But I was the person that the day I get there, the 16th of January, I have a conversation with two of my best friends, and I said, something is really wrong. I've been bleeding for months, but now I'm bleeding clots, and
Thank you
I
for
guess I'll
rejoining,
show a
Tanya.
picture of it,
See,
'cause I have
this is
photos.
what I meant to show you. This is what I spent the time to blur it out. Look at this. MK, thank you. You're all good. Don't stress too much. I know. You know, you guys are so chill. Thank you. Ooh, yeah. Koja, thank you. Me. Hey, that wasn't blurred. It was bad though, right? Tarvin, thank you. It's all good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is what I had every intention of not doing that to you. I'm so fucking sorry. Like, no, I legitimately feel bad. That kind of stuff doesn't necessarily bother me, but I know it does bother other people. So, like, I tried. I really did try, but I failed fucking miserably, and I am so fucking sorry. Great work! Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Oh man, it was pretty... Okay, but see, now you guys know. Like, I tried to prepare you so you wouldn't have to see it, but you knew how bad it was. And I failed. Tiffany, thank you. It's all good. I love you guys too. I'm still shocked. Yeah, it's bad. They're the sexiest gray pixels you've ever seen. Okay, good. So just so you know, this version, I think there's two other parts that I did blur out that are for sure blurred out. But that was probably the worst one, in my opinion. Anyway. Please, don't cancel me. I'm so sorry.
So I'll show you. It's kind of gross, right?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty fucking
and this
gross.
wasn't like once, this wasn't twice, this wasn't 3 times. This was multiple times a day. These gigantic clots of blood were coming out of me.
Multiple
And
times
I
a
was
day.
like, this is really bad. Like, something is very wrong. And I knew something was wrong because I know that you're not supposed to have enormous clots of blood like this. So I'm texting my assistant. I'm like, as soon as I get back from here, from Colombia, I've got to get to the doctor. There is something wrong. I'm bleeding extremely heavily, clots the size of the palm of my hand, multiple times a day. So meanwhile, when I'm on this Colombia hike, everyone's so worried about. The crazy thing is, you can ask anyone who's there. I was bleeding through my entire outfit, all my clothes. And it got to the point where I'm like, well, I mean, screw it. It's like a normal thing that happens to everybody. So even though I'm bleeding all over the place and everybody in Colombia, the guys and the girls, see me bleeding everywhere, I'm like, whatever. It's just menstrual.
It's just... I'm sorry, but like, I come to this shit and, you know, we hear her talk about it like this. Whatever, no big deal, but listen, we all saw the photos, okay? Sorry. Can you imagine, like, you're on a trip with somebody and they're like nonstop just bleeding. The leader of your excursion into the rainforest or whatever is out there in Colombia, and she is just bleeding. And she's like, it's fine. And you know what the worst part is that she probably used that to be like, hey, if I'm going through this, bleeding nonstop all the time, then you guys, like, I'm the one who's suffering here. You guys are fine. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was probably something like that. She probably used it against them. How did she hide that on a hike? She was just saying she didn't. She said, you can ask anyone who was there. I was bleeding through and bleeding through and bleeding through. Yeah. She's like walking around with blood all over her pants. She's like, it's fine. No one told her, like, hey, Jessie, I know we're in a different country right now, but we need to stop and you need to go seek, like, emergency care. Like, that's not normal. Maybe someone did and she was just like, no, it's fine. You know, at what point do you go, no, you know what? Maybe I should take a step back. This probably isn't normal. Let me go seek medical help. No matter where you are, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. At some point, you need to be like, fine, I give in. I'll go to the doctor. I'll go to the ER. But for Jessie, it's like she didn't have that. She did not have that moment. She was just like, yeah, I'm bleeding through, whatever. Like, why are you guys complaining? I'm bleeding. What's your problem? Like, just keep walking through the Colombian forest. Oh my God, Sheila, thank you for gifting 50 memberships. Okay, real quick. More palate cleanser.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. And thank you, Natalie, for the super sticker. That's so kind. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. That's so kind of you. Like too kind. Thank you. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about. This is Jessie bleeding all over the place. Anyway, it's sad, right? And it's sad that someone would have that kind of like cognitive dissonance to be like, no, I'm fine. No, just keep going. Let's keep up on this 15-hour hike. I'm fine. Clearly you weren't fine.
Blood, like, who cares? No big deal. So then I get home, and January 23rd, the bleeding just still hasn't stopped. And I'm starting to get really anemic feeling. I'm getting really tired. I can tell I'm just losing way too much blood. And when I look at photos from Colombia, which I can show you some of these, or some TikToks, or whatever, just some screenshots, I'm starting to get really sunken in under my eyes. My face is getting really gaunt. I'm getting really skinny in January in Colombia.
And you know what's wild too is that looking back, all of us were saying the same thing. All of us were like constantly being like, okay, she looks sick. And I remember one time, like literally, I think Erin must have posted like an Instagram story or something. And I feel like I messaged her and I was like, no, dude, like at this point, Jessie looks way too skinny. And this was before the cancer diagnosis. And I remember Erin being like, yeah, no, I think she has an ED at this point. Or something, like it was something along those lines. And I'm just like, yeah, like that's not, she looks bad, man. Like it was to this point. But while all of us were saying this shit, and honestly, like I didn't ever publicly being like, yes, she clearly has an ED. No, I never wanted to accuse her of that because, like, I don't fucking know. But, like, all of us were thinking it, right? And even if we weren't thinking it, the things that we were saying were, like, she looks too skinny. No matter what it is that's going on, she looks too skinny and something needs to change. Like, this is not okay. And I think all of us were kind of on that same page. But when she was responding to criticism like that, she was constantly like, no, I've never looked this healthy. I've never been this healthy, blah, blah, blah. Chronically, Stacey, thank you. Let's bleed and jump into the ocean at night, y'all. This is fine. Oh my God, that's a good point, dude. Y'all ever heard of sharks? Whoa. Dude, that's a good fucking point. Jessie Lee's like, don't sharks feed at night? Jessie Lee's like, hey guys, all right, it's midnight, pitch black in the middle of the ocean on this boat. Time to jump in the water. And everyone's like, Jessie, like, you're bleeding. You have blood running down your leg, dude. We're not jumping in the ocean with you. Please don't. You'll attract the sharks. Bears can smell the menstruation. Seriously, though? Like, that's a really good point. Like, you want to talk about who was in danger? Jessie, you were putting your entire team in danger by jumping in the ocean, bleeding out into the ocean, dude. But plankton. Oh yeah, you're right, Clown Town. There was a picture of her in the water with them. Oh my God. there's so much here. I forgot what we were talking about. Just sharks, dude. It's sad though. Oh, that's what I was saying. Like she basically had a comeback every time any of us had anything to say about the way she was looking. Which, yeah, I mean, I think in most cases, like, we have no right to say anything about how anybody looks, but I know we were all on the same page. Like, at a certain point, you're like, this is too skinny. Too skinny. And her response was always like, no, I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life. Meanwhile, this shit was going on. And now, here she is admitting, like, yeah, I looked too skinny. Yeah, I looked sickly. Yeah, I did. But at the time, she was like, no, I'm super healthy and you guys are just haters. No, this is validating to what we were saying before. Unfortunately, we all thought it was just an ED, but really what it was 10 million times worse. Something out of her control. And it's just sad. It's fucking sad. Looking back, it's like, fuck. Like, none of us would have ever guessed this. Moni JV, thank you for subscribing. I think when this happened, like... And if you remember, Eric Worre is the one who told all of us about the cancer. Eric Worre is the one who spilled the beans, dude. Which, fuck that guy. What an asshole. It's just looking back, it's like very... Han Bjornsson, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. You know what time it is?
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Fuck Eric Worre. Okay, we're getting back to this. Sorry. I've been farting around for too long. Let's get back to the sad shit. Also, I'm sweating. I'm going to turn on my portable air conditioning right behind me. It's very hot. I think it's supposed to be like 115 today. Hold on. I'm going to tell you guys for sure. It's supposed to be 116 tomorrow. 116 degrees, y'all. Tomorrow. 115 the next day. Yeah, generally the same temperature. It's been a hot day and I'm sweating. Welcome to the desert. Okay.
And I did notice I was looking pretty flippin' skinny, but
did
I thought,
you notice,
I'm
Jessie?
still
Really?
pushing through,
Because
I'm
we
still
all
doing
tried
my
to tell
thing.
you.
I'll be fine. I'll go to the doctor when I get home. So I go in January 23rd, 2023, and this is where I go to the ER for bleeding. And in the ER for bleeding, he's like, I don't see
Chronically
anything
Stacy,
wrong.
thank you
Everything looks
for
fine.
joining.
We'll get an ultrasound. I'm like, okay, so we're able to get next day into an ultrasound for the bleeding. They did a normal ultrasound on the exterior. They did an intravaginal ultrasound as well. All the results, which again I can show you, look normal, except they said, well, you have thickened endometrium. And I said, what does that mean? And they said, well, could be nothing, could be fetal remains.
Mary, thank you for joining.
I'm like, okay, that's interesting. What do we do next? They said, well, we can't really see anything. You should go do a biopsy.
That's really interesting to me too. Now, again, I'm not a medical professional, but for a doctor to be like, probably not a big deal, probably just fetal remains. Are you fucking kidding me? That could cause sepsis, dude. People die from sepsis. Like, to downplay it like that and be like, oh, it's probably just fetal remain. What? I'm sorry, dude. Okay, again, another, oh my god, Jennifer, thank you. I've been malnourished from Crohn's, and her weight loss looked a lot like when my body was starving me to death. Yeah, and I'm so sorry that you went through that, dude. I used to know somebody who had Crohn's disease, and they literally almost died from it. It's fucking scary. That being said, like, yeah, looking back, that's exactly what was going on. Her body was starving. Her body was, yeah, the whole thing is really sad. Anyway, yeah, what I was going to say is another trigger warning, again, for the loss of pregnancy and stuff like that. It's really hard. It's a really difficult situation to even talk about. But, yeah, like, I've told you guys my story before about my miscarriages. I just talked about my second one recently, before the jump scare of the blood clots. Sorry, don't rewind. If you're showing up here late and you missed the blood clots, don't rewind. Unless you want to see nasty shit, because I accidentally left it in. I meant to cut it out. Don't rewind. It will scar you for life. But so my first miscarriage was at 16 weeks. Well, the baby had passed away at 15 weeks, and then we found it at 16 weeks, at my 16-week appointment. And I had to be like, I mean, I think there were 2 days in between finding the miscarriage and the surgery I had to have everything removed. But, like, they literally, like, because my body was holding on to the fetal remains, for a week, you know, not passing anything. I didn't know that the baby had passed until, like, she was just looking for the heartbeat and couldn't find it. And then they sent me to an emergency ultrasound, and then that's how we found out the baby had for sure passed away. And then 2 days later, I was getting surgery because at a certain point, if there's something just, like, decomposing in your body, like, that can cause an infection, that can cause sepsis, you can fucking die. That's why it was so important for them to rush me into surgery to get everything taken out, dude. So for an ultrasound tech to be like, oh, you've been bleeding like this for how many months was it at this point? She said she went in January, so like November, so 2 to 3 months. They're just like, oh, it's probably just fetal remains. Like, at that point, you probably would have gone septic, right? If it was fetal remains. So if what she's saying is the truth, which honestly I do believe her, because like as much as I talk up doctors and the medical profession on my channel all the time, I do acknowledge that sometimes they get it wrong and sometimes they don't take people as seriously as they should, and that fucking sucks. I hate that that's a thing, but it does happen. So if what she's telling us is the absolute truth, and they were just kind of being like, it's not a big deal, just go get a biopsy, no big deal. Like, and then not even that, but it's like, she's going to tell us later that it was coming from it was because of the tumor. And it's like, so was it coming out of your butt then and not your cooter? Like, how did this get missed? Because she says she gets diagnosed in February, but she like went to this doctor in January. So it was weeks before she even got diagnosed. And to me, I'm like, that's fucking heartbreaking. That is so fucked up. I mean, first of all, she shouldn't have waited. She said she started bleeding nonstop starting in November. She should have gone to the doctor way sooner than she did. She let it go on for probably around 2 months, maybe even more than that. That is way longer than she should have. However, I do feel like at a certain point, if this is all true, she was screwed over by the medical industry here. I don't know I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. She was screwed over at one point or another. I don't even want to say, like, I wouldn't say it's malpractice. I think it's just, you know, it wasn't caught, but it should have been caught way sooner than it was. And if it was caught like a month earlier than she was diagnosed in February, if they had caught it in January, like, how would that have changed things? And that, like, she straight up could, like, lose her life because of this. Like, if it was a month, I'm gonna read this in a second, but if there was a month in between, like, what could have changed? What could have been different, dude? It's fucking heartbreaking. Okay, let me read this. Carrie B, thank you God. As an ICU nurse, this whole thing makes me so sad. I've seen people die from this type of cancer and it's brutal, but at the end of the day, you can't help someone who doesn't want it. And Fuel Up on Positivity says, to my knowledge, she doesn't have a regular healthcare provider, which may have led to the confusion for the GYN. It's not right, but it happens. Right, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know her medical history leading up to this point, okay? But as far as the, you can't help someone who doesn't want it, I think she does want help. Let me put it this way. I think Jessie Lee Ward is doing more than most people would in her situation. However, and it's hard to say now because she's let it go on for so long without getting chemotherapy, but I feel like could her situation be different today if she had decided right away to start doing chemotherapy instead of waiting and thinking about it. Because at this point, I'm like, I think maybe it might be too late. But again, I'm not a medical professional. I don't know this shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm an idiot, okay? I don't know. But I do think she does want the help. I wouldn't say that she doesn't want help. She has gone so far to be putting coffee up her butt like 3 times a day, dude. I think she wants help. But for whatever reason, she just doesn't want to take, I don't know. Like, the one thing that maybe could have helped her before probably won't do much for her now at this point. I don't know. Alice Wagner, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. And then I'm going to play the Pop-Tart song. And then we're going to get back to it. And I'm going to stop blabbering my mouth.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Fuck Eric Worre. Damn, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh, Tiffany, I had a stillborn and doctor said children were slim to 0 chance for me. Well, I have a 13 and 9-year-old now. Right, and so, I'll be the first to admit that doctors don't always get it right. But I also think that, like, in most cases, I don't think doctors, like, will give a prognosis, you know what I mean? Like, for sure, like, you only have 6 months to live, or, like, something very specific like that. I think most of the time they're trying to cover their ass and they're not going to give, like, a time span like that. But anyway, okay, I said I was going to press play, so we're not even halfway through this video. Oh, my God.
Wow, biopsy, like, okay. So this is where if you haven't already been frustrated in this video with the medical system or whatever, this is where I just start to get, like, very frustrated.
I'm frustrated
Because
too, honestly.
This ultrasound of my uterus and of my ovaries and of my reproductive organs should have seen cancer. I'm just going to tell you, okay? So this should have been seen to begin with.
The thing is that, like, she thought it was menstrual blood, so they were doing an ultrasound of the uterus. When what it sounds to me like, and she's going to get to it, sorry I keep pausing before she gets to it, but what it sounds to me is like she was having the bleeding because of the tumor, which was in her colon. So, like, the blood would have been coming out of another hole, an entirely other different, like, organ system. It would have been coming from her digestive system and not her reproductive system. So, I mean, do you really fault... Like, listen, I'm not an ultrasound tech. Maybe I should ask JJ this. But, like, if you go into an OBGYN and you're like, I have been bleeding nonstop for 3 months, what's wrong with me? And you're like, it's menstrual blood, like there's clots and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't you would assume, you would expect the ultrasound tech to be checking your uterus and not your digestive system, right? Rebecca, thank you. I think she's so entrenched in her beliefs and has been so public about them that she doesn't want to go back on her word. I mean, I'd hope at a certain point, I hope she does. Although, she did just go back on her word in the way that she was saying, like, because before we were all like, you don't look healthy, you look too skinny. And she was always like, no, I'm so healthy. I'm like, I've never looked this healthy. I've never felt this healthy. And then, of course, obviously this all happened. And now she's here in this video like, yeah, I definitely looked too skinny. It's like, that's what we were all saying the whole time, but you were just like gaslighting us, basically. So yeah, I don't fucking know. Justine D. Sav, she said the clots were in her menstrual cup. Oh, did she say that? Oh, yeah, she does say that later, right? Because I know she starts, like, demonizing tampons and stuff. But then, like, what? Again, like, I have no medical knowledge at all, but, like, why would clots like that be coming out of her cooter when the tumor, which she says was, like, she says later that she had the surgery and then the bleeding stopped right after that. Could it be a hormonal thing? Because, yeah, so it's like, okay, the clots, okay, so if they showed up in your menstrual cup, then they would have been coming out of your cooter. But it's like, if they were because of the tumor, then why wouldn't they be coming out of your butt? I don't know. Heidi, yeah, if they are looking at the reproductive system with the ultrasound, they wouldn't just happen to see colon cancer. That's what I'm saying. That's so weird. I mean, listen, the human body is fucking fascinating, okay? I love hearing about this shit, even though it's like sad as hell. Like, I think the human body is so fascinating. It's disgusting. We are disgusting creatures, but it is fucking fascinating. That being said, I don't understand what's going on here. If it was stage 4, it could have already spread far enough to cause that. But it's never been in her uterus. We'll get to it more. There's more. She goes through like the whole diagnosis system here, or the diagnosis little journey she went on here, in a second. So I'll just press play. Sorry, I've been talking for way too long.
But whatever. The problem is so many of these practitioners and doctors, which I'm not knocking doctors, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying, is they look at your body as these little tiny parts and pieces. They don't look at stuff from a holistic entire body point of view.
Amy, thank you for the super chat. See, that's what I'm saying though. She went to an OBGYN and was like, what's wrong? Why have I been bleeding like menstrual blood for 3 months, you know? When the problem was in her colon the entire time. And then she's like, see, they should have seen it. It's like, but they weren't looking at your colon. You said that you were going in for an issue with menstruation. So why would they look at your colon, you know? She's admitting it here, like, oh, they don't look at the whole system. It's like, okay. I don't know. I feel like she's, like, placing blame on... Did she go to an OBGYN or did she go to, like, an emergency room? Who knows? But, like, if you go to an OBGYN, they're going to look at your uterus. They're not going to look at your colon, right? I don't know. I feel like she's placing too much blame on the ultrasound techs and not enough blame on herself for fucking waiting up to, if not more than 2 months to go get this checked out.
I'll get to it in a minute. You'll hear why this is such a big deal. So they do 4 biopsies. Super painful, by the way. I'm like, wow, okay. Hello, uterus. Not my favorite thing. I have gross photos of that too. I don't know why I take photos of everything, except for maybe I knew that I was going to document all this for YouTube for you guys at some point. So photos of the biopsies. Great.
Okay, so I blurred this part out too, but basically what I blurred out here, now that we have the right version, I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize for that jump scare for the rest of my life. I'm so fucking sorry. So here, it was her, like, she was holding up a little biopsy cup, and you can see, like, it's all red and bloody, but, like, you can see, I think it's her uterine lining, like, it looks like, I'll tell you what it looks like, but I won't actually show it to you, but it looks like, you know, when it's, like, the first day of your cycle, and, like, you take the out of the gooter, and, like, and then like little tiny like stringy clots fall out into the toilet, and then you go potty or whatever, and then when you go to flush, like you can still see the kind of mucus looking trail kind of thing in the toilet. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So is that. That's what I was blocking out for you. It was that, except for in a toilet bowl, it was in a cup, and you could very clearly see the little worm looking things. It was gross. The blood you all saw was worse, but okay. That's what I'm blurring out here.
Great. And everything comes back normal, guys. Everything's normal. There's nothing wrong. I don't know. Let's put you on progesterone to stop...
$50? Emma be good, baby girl. It was bigger than $50. Like, golf ball at the smallest, but the second one that it showed was like a baseball, dude. Anyway, don't rewind. Whatever you do, don't rewind.
Let's put you on testosterone to stop the bleeding. I'm like, I don't want hormones. I'm just not a big hormone person. I don't like birth control. I don't like anything.
I'm not a big hormone person. Who has hormones? She like, hello, hi, you're human and we all have hormones. But I do understand, like, I'm just making a joke, but I do understand, like, not wanting to deal with the hormone situation because it can, like, fuck other shit up for some people. I feel like, though, after 3 months of bleeding giant blood clots non-stop, where you're bleeding through your clothes all day every day, I feel like at that point you're like, yeah, give me the hormones, just make this shit stop, you know? Alexis, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
I don't want a shot of progesterone or progesterone pills or whatever you're gonna do to stop the bleeding. Like, can we figure out what's wrong? The answer to that was no, between the time that I went for this ultrasound, because then on February 1st, which of course was a week later, I get back this.
let's read this here. Hopefully you guys can see it. I have it on my other monitor, so I'll read it to you. Welcome to story time. Additional clinical observations. Bowel. Wait, what did she say? She said a week. She went for another ultrasound a week. Anyway, 10th of January, comprehensive whole body scan. Okay, so this would have been that full body MRI, I think that she was talking about. One important finding: abnormal signal cecum and retroperitoneum. Recommendations: there's extensive bulky retroperitoneal adenopathy. Okay, so what I learned from if Rob is here, he may or may not be here. His name on YouTube is Liberty Medical something. I just know his name is Rob. He was saying in DC's chat when she was looking at this earlier, adenopathy means inflamed tissue, like swollen, I don't know, infected, inflamed, like, I don't know. So they're saying there's bulky inflammation in her rectum. Largest lymph node measuring at least 3 centimeters. Not sure what it's supposed to measure, but that seems to be bigger than what it should be. Suggestion of thickening involving the cecum. I don't know what that is. Someone who's smart can tell us, though. Correlate for possible lymphoma. That's a cancer. Okay. Cannot exclude neoplastic process of the cecum with metastatic disease to the retroperitoneal lymph nodes. Surgical consultation is advised. Consider MRI, CT scan, post-contrast. Consider tissue diagnosis. Consider colonoscopy. The radiologist has made the following additional findings. So that's what we're looking at here. Long story short, from what I understand here, she was given a report that basically is like, shit looks inflamed in your butt and we need to check it out. Probably get a MRI, a CT scan, probably get a colonoscopy, probably get a biopsy. Peritoneal. Thank you. You guys are talking about Chris Angel in the chat. What are you talking about? Has she tried calling Chris Angel? What does that mean? Like he's gonna make it disappear? No, all Chris Angel knows how to do is float on top of the Luxor, okay? Alexis, thank you for the super chat. The cancer could have metastasized to her adrenal glands or something, which could have caused the increased vaginal bleeding. Oh, I mean, I know that she had lymph nodes removed. Wait, are lymph nodes are glands, aren't they? I don't know. Again, guys, I'm not a medical professional. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if that's a thing, maybe. And we do know that her cancer did metastasize. That's why it's stage 4. She'll tell us later here too, and we've heard before that I think her stomach and her esophagus, I think, is where we know that the cancer has metastasized to. Peritoneal. Thanks, guys. Okay, not Chris Angel. Dude, I saw him live in Vegas one time because my sister used to be obsessed with him. She used to have, when she was like a teenager, like I don't know, like 14, 15. No, she would have been 15 or 16. Anyway, for her 16th birthday, we went to Vegas to see his Vegas show. I think it's called Believe at the Luxor. And, yeah, it was weird. Like, not really great. It wasn't that good. But I've seen Chris Angel live, guys, so just wanted to brag about that for a second. Anyway.
These are the results of the full body MRI. So from January 10th to February 1st is how long it took for Pernuvo to get the results back, and immediately said what all of you can see, which is that there are abnormal findings. You can see the circle around my stomach. You can see the circle around my cecum area, which is where your large and small intestine meet.
Okay, wait, hold on. I know DC said she sent me all this, but last time I checked, I didn't have them. DC, I never got those messages from you. Oh, wait, you said you sent them to my email, huh? Okay, hold on. Please hold. Oh, that's a cat. That was our eye bleach from earlier. Okay, hold on. I'm pulling up DC screenshot because I know she like screenshotted this particular MRI picture. Jessie Lee lymph nodes. There it is. All right. How do I make this? All right. I don't know if anyone cared to look at this, but this is the picture that she was sharing there. From what I remember Rob saying was that, like, because I remember in the chat, I was just like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but this is a cool image. He said that all of this is, like, super inflamed, so that's why it's, like, circled. And I also remember someone in the chat saying that this was, like, a big section of anatomy to be circled. Like, normally they would zoom in and circle a smaller something, but here they have just, like, a whole section of her intestines circled. So, sorry if this grosses people out, but again, like I was saying before, the human body is fucking fascinating to me. Yeah, I love it. I love looking at shit like this. Even though I don't know what I'm looking at, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Anyway.
And it said I immediately...
That's not a good scan. Yeah,
to
that's what everyone
get
was
medical
saying.
attention. So I'll never forget...
Marissa, I saw Chris Angel at the Luxor too, and he got angry at the audience because no one was clapping. Okay, Jeb Bush, please clap. Dude, like, because when we went to... I know this is totally off topic. When we went to go see Chris Angel, we had tickets, like, in the back of the auditorium. But no one really was there. Like, it was a pretty empty auditorium, so they moved us up to the front. It was pretty cool. But, yeah, they're just like, yeah, Chris needs to, like, feel like he has an audience, so please move to the front of the auditorium. We're like, okay. Poor guy.
Going to the gym that day. I'm crying in the gym. My boyfriend's there. Two of my best friends are there. And they're like, what's wrong? You know, why are you so upset? It could be nothing. I'm like, it's like when you know that it's not nothing, and like everyone around you is trying to make it seem like, oh, it's gonna be perfectly fine. I sent it to my older brother, who's like, maybe it's just an infection. This could be an infection. I'm like, I don't think I have an infection, right? Like, I know something is going on. As soon as I see this MRI, like, I'm immediately overwhelmed with emotions. Like, what is going on? And I sent it to the doctors that I was working with in the past and am no longer currently working with. And they've said, hey, well, you know, we did also order you that blood test, that Gallery Grail blood test, which I had taken. It's another about $3,000 blood test. It's a pre-cancer screening test. I highly recommend it to everybody.
I hate that she said this part here. She's like, oh, it's just a $3,000 blood test. I recommend it to everyone. Dude, no one can afford that except for you, Jessie. Like, you can't just be like, I highly recommend that every person gets one of these blood tests. It's only, $3,000. Dude, if I had $3,000 just laying around, I could do a lot more with it than fucking getting a blood test. That being said, I'm sure it is very insightful, and quite frankly, if I had the money to throw at it, I probably would get one too. That being said, like, the way that she just kind of, like, shrugged it off, just like, it's $3,000, y'all should get it. Okay, none of us can afford that, Jessie, thanks.
And I said, okay, great. Well, I guess we wait for the Grail test to come back. In the meantime, what were my symptoms? This is
Roxanne, welcome. Thank you for joining.
I didn't have symptoms except for the bleeding, which I'm going to talk about. And I guess being tired, which I mentioned. But a lot of us are tired because we're all running off of caffeine in this day and age.
A lot of us are running off of caffeine in this day and age, is what she was saying. Jessie, at the time, you were, like, sucking down Prove It. I know she's doing decaf now, but I'm pretty sure she's mentioned that she was doing, like, wasn't she, like, constantly talking about how much caffeine she was drinking? Like, wasn't she saying that, like, caffeine was, like, something she was drinking all day? And she's just like, yeah, I just ran off of caffeine. Like, I was tired. And it's just so wild to look back because, like, she was straight up lying about her health condition because she was telling everybody, like, oh, yeah, I know, I've never been more healthy. Even at the beginning of this video, she was like, I wanted the blood tests and I wanted all these things to be able to show my doctors in the future, like, because I feel so good and I feel so energetic and I've never felt better, I've never felt healthier. I want my doctors to be able to look back at my blood tests and my full body MRIs to see where I was because I was feeling so good. And now, here we are, July 2023, and she's like, I was really tired. It's like, well, that's not what you were saying to everyone before. It's just really hard to, you like juxtapose these two statements that she's making about her health, like 8 months apart. And it's like, how can any of us believe anything you say at this point? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Hi, Pippi. Guys, Pippi's here. Wait, hold on. Palette cleanser. Pippi, look at everyone in the eyes and tell them you love them. Pippi. Hello. Okay, palette cleanser. We got a happy kitty. We're good. Oh, this is my old lady. I love her so much. She's 14. She's freaking 14. My old lady.
I had no blood in stool. I had no dramatic weight loss that I wasn't trying to have. I had no stomach pains, no issues with anything. Nothing. I thought I was in the best shape of my life. I thought that my body was crushing. I thought that I was basically being the beacon of health, the example of health, the person I've always wanted to be in every aspect of my life, with everything from spirituality, finances, emotions, mental, etc. And here I am staring at this MRI like, how is this even possible?
This is
And
heartbreaking,
so
dude.
That happened, and then I said, okay, well, up next, I've got this trip to the Bahamas. And at the very beginning of February 2nd, February.
She said no dramatic weight loss that she wasn't trying to have. So, yeah, let's make this part very clear, because she did have dramatic weight loss, but I understand her kind of being like, yeah, I didn't think anything of it, because she was actively trying to lose weight, and she was constantly talking about, like, oh yeah, like, here's all the injections I'm taking, here's all this, like, I'm losing all this weight, look at how healthy I am, basically. Like, she was hoping for those results, you know? So that's what makes this whole thing really fucking scary. But yeah, I just want to make sure we all recognize this, is that, like, when she says, because obviously the weight loss was probably the biggest symptom she had, but she didn't think anything of it because she was trying to lose weight and she thought she found something that was working. Really, all that was happening was that her body was just essentially starving. It's fucking sad. Well, Pippi, come on, man. Yeah, no, it's really sad. And it's scary. Like, again, I think you guys were saying she's 34. I'm 32. And I'm like, this is where the empathetic part in me really comes out, because I'm like, in my early, coming up on mid-30s, like, I should not be worried about having stage 4 cancer. But watching Jessie Lee have stage 4 cancer, I'm like, that's a fucking reality, and that's so upsetting and scary and sad. You know what I'm saying? It just really puts things into perspective, and it breaks my fucking heart, man. Like, I really, from an empathetic standpoint, I feel so fucking bad for her, and I wish that she wasn't going through this. I really, yeah.
Second, I flew to the Bahamas. I had earned a free trip with my company that I'm with.
That's her with Avi.
I think 8, 10 people on a private jet with me to the Bahamas. Everything's happy, hunky-dory, woo, woo, woo. Everyone's in a good mood.
Still
I'm in a good
bleeding.
mood. And I did feel tired there and a little bit agitated and whatever, just because I'm being pulled a bunch of different directions, being the top in the company. And I felt pretty okay, though. I look at photos, and again, I'm very skinny. If I look at my face, I go, oof.
Right, yeah. I mean, she doesn't, I'm sorry, but she doesn't look any better now. Like, probably worse, if we're being totally honest. And, like, I don't like to comment on people's looks, but, like, in this situation, there's, like, a timeline that we're all sitting here watching, and it's fucking heartbreaking. Just, like, watching her deteriorate, and it's horrifying. Nice prove it private jet, though. I remember this whole situation when this was going on. Oh, my God. Like, I mean, honestly, though, she doesn't really look that bad in this picture. Like, she at least, like, I don't know. There was a picture she posted earlier where it's like, you got, like, chicken legs, dude. Like, you're very clearly, like, way too skinny. Here, I'm like, face aside, like, from the neck down, I'd be like, oh, yeah, she looks fine. But, like, you can definitely see how she's, like, sunken in and stuff here. So, yeah. It is still, again, like I was saying before, for all of us to have witnessed her losing so much weight and then being like, yeah, you don't look healthy, and then she would snap back and be like, I've never been more healthy. It's just, like, we all fucking saw it, dude, except for her, and that's sad.
He looked sick, and
She
just
lost a
pushed
lot of
through.
muscle mass,
And then
yeah.
on the flight back from Bahamas on February 6th, I'm cheating again, February 6th, I get a message from two of the doctors that were working with me with prior history, and they said, we need to get on a Zoom call whenever you get a chance. We got some test results back. And I mean, I knew. You know? It's like, you know, when someone says, hey, I got bad news. You're like, oh. So I knew. So we actually flew back to Kentucky on the jet before flying to Texas because we had to drop some people off. And I said, I'll
The
I'll let you
CEO
know right
of
away.
Prove
I'll
It.
call you out when I land in Kentucky. And we clear customs in Kentucky, and I take the Zoom call, and I'll show you the screenshot of the Zoom call with the screenshot.
Whoa. Results, cancer signal detected. Okay, honestly, though, like, if this is what they've sent to her as the patient, like, I understand having it like this, like, if you're the doctor, right? And it's, like, big, bold, giant letters to be like, hey, this patient, cancer signal detected. But, like, to send this to the patient, imagine opening that email or whatever it was and just seeing in the biggest, boldest letter, cancer signal detected. Like, that is so fucking scary and heartbreaking. Like, what kind of doctor? I'm sorry, dude. And this comes back to what I was saying before, where I feel like the medical system, like, as long as everything that she's saying is true, I feel like the entire system failed her, dude. Because this is, like, a fucking picture like this, that's not empathetic at all. That's just like, yep, here's your results. And it's like, cancer. Colorectal cancer. Like, I understand that it's a serious thing. I understand, like, hey, your life is fucking at risk at this point. But maybe, like, don't shove it in her face like this. I mean, maybe, am I the only one who feels that way? You guys let me know in the chat. Okay, yeah. Oh, she said it was a Zoom call. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, she did say Zoom. You're right. But either way, the doctors showed her this. And instead of, like, sitting her down and, like, calmly, like, I don't know, having a discussion about it, instead she has to see this report that's like, cancer! Yeah. Terrible bedside manner. Yeah. No, she's not lying, dude. KD, she's not lying. Hey, if I have any mods in here, oh yeah, I have Tanya and Quinlan. If you guys see anyone making any comments about, like, thinking that she's lying or hoping the worst for her and all those kind of things, just please delete those comments. I don't want to see anyone, like, wishing that kind of shit on her. But that being said, to me, I'm just like, that's probably not the most professional thing that you could have done. Yeah. Dude. What other... well, okay, Jay, this is a good point. What other choice do the doctors have? She hasn't taken them seriously and she's been combative with them. Maybe they're hoping it's a reality check. I mean, I don't think that's what doctors do, though. Like, I don't think they're like, hey, we're going to give this patient a reality check. Yeah, no, I don't necessarily think that, up until this point, she was still being diagnosed. Like, no one had actually given her a diagnosis up until this point. So, like, there wasn't really anything to take seriously, you know? This was the biohacker doctors, not normal. Oh, was this? This part was the biohacker shit? At this point? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to follow along, but there's, like, she's been involved with so many doctors, dude, I don't know. But yeah, please, people in the chat, please be a little empathetic here and don't be a dick. If you have thoughts like that, just keep them to yourself, dude. Because really, at the end of the day, this is fucking heartbreaking to anyone who has to go through this. And even though it's Jessie Lee Ward and she's made her fortune by scamming people for the past over a decade of her life, we still don't want her to go through this. Okay.
Gallery Grail test, which, you know, Tony Robbins says in his book Life Force, if you have the resources to get a full body MRI and the resources to do this Gallery Grail test, you should. And I'm glad I did, but of course then still this isn't a diagnosis, but it comes back positive with a signal for colon/rectum cancer.
Yeah.
And that
So that was the gallery grill test thing she was talking about, that $3,000 test that she's like, everyone should get this, which, yeah, okay, fine.
and just the sobbing starts, right?
Oh. So here she is, Brian Underwood, that's the CEO, right, of Prove It? Or is he president? I think he's the CEO. She said, I was on a call with my doctors. I have colon cancer. Brian Underwood said, oh my God, are you serious, Jessie Lee? What did they say next step is? We will figure this out. Stay positive and know you are loved. I love you. She said, yeah, I'm serious. I'll let you know. I love you too. Did they say what they found? Yeah, I have it on MRI and another test too. Yeah. So like Brian is the one that she was dropping off in Kentucky. So in between them dropping her off on their private jet in Kentucky and then flying her back to Texas is when she got the news. Guys, I have to pee really, really bad. So I'm gonna take a quick bio break. I'll be right back. I'll make it really quick, okay? Hi, I'm back. I peed very fast. Okay, let's get back to this. Oh, press play. Go.
You can't really describe that feeling. It feels like you get hit by a bus or a train, or your whole world kind of stops because you realize in that moment that nothing is okay. And I went back on the jet and I walked straight to the back in the back room because the jet has several rooms in it, and I told my boyfriend who was with me, and we just went to the back and I just sobbed in his arms. He sobbed in my arms for probably about 20 minutes. My best friend happened to be on the jet too. It was her first flight on a jet. Great way to commemorate this, right? And I tell her like, hey, I remember saying to her, I said, I might be really, really sick. And so we were crying. She didn't tell anyone else in the jet yet. Gathered myself emotionally after about 20-30 minutes, go back out, spend the time with everyone else in the jet, but then I just knew. And I knew it was going to be the beginning of this journey of just step by step by step. I never thought it'd be the way it is now, which I know that's why I'm going to do as many of these videos as possible, because I don't just want to give it to you all at once. It's too much for any one person to probably handle in like a 5-hour video or something. But I realized really in that moment that this was super serious. And so then I talked to those 2 doctors, and they just weren't rushing anything.
You were bleeding for 3 freaking months. Well, like 2 months before you actually decided to go get it checked out. And you're like, in that moment, I realized it was serious. Girl, you were passing blood clots the size of your palm for 3 months. And this, in your private jet, this is the moment when you realized it was serious? The cognitive dissonance, like, and again, like, I guess I can understand, like, it's hard to admit that something is wrong with you. Like, it's hard to admit that something might be a little off. Like, I'm not where I should be. Things aren't right. Da da da. Like, I get that. I can understand that to a certain point. But, like, how long do you have to go passing blood clots all day, every day, bleeding through your clothes all the fucking time, every single day, to where you're like, this isn't normal? Like, at what point? For Jessie Lee, the point was I was in a private jet, a mile high, being like, oh shit, I think this is serious. My doctor told me that I have colorectal cancer. I think this might be serious, guys. Yeah. You think? You think?
And for me, when it's my health, it's my life, it's like, what matters when you realize your life is in danger? Nothing except your life. it was like, oh, we'll call doctors, we'll get everything handled. They put together this plan. This is really where that happened. They said, we're going to put together this medical plan for you, and we're going to help you as much as possible right away. I said, put the protocol together, you know, give me peptides that boost your immune system and all, like whatever they were telling me, because I really believe in this peptide stuff. I did not even look at the invoice, guys, until I had already said, run it. Just run it. Like, I feel like I'm fighting for my life. Just run it. Turns out, they ran it. They overpriced things by about 12 times. They also included an $11,000 doctor fee from somebody I'd already been working with for 9 months. And it was $55,000. I can show you the invoice. And before anything even came, I went, you know what? We don't even have an actual diagnosis. I don't want the product anymore. I want to talk to an oncologist. I want to see a doctor before we make any medical decisions moving forward. And they said, oh, we can't do that. Like, that's against our business model. Meanwhile, I'd already referred countless people to them to their clinic, which is very...
Okay, I'm sorry. Isn't it kind of weird that a doctor's office would consider themselves like a place that has a business model? Like, welcome to America, where healthcare is a business and not like a human right. It's a fucking privilege, you know? Oh my god, it's so sickening, dude. Yeah, she's gonna show it here. She's gonna show the invoice. And this pisses me off too, because this place, is this the biohacking place? I think it might be, where she said she got the Gallery Grail test, right? I don't know. She's been through a lot of hospitals words and a lot of doctors, and it's just kind of hard to keep up with what she's talking about in that moment. But that for that doctor's or clinic or whatever to charge her $55,000 for whatever protocol this is, they were milking her for all it was worth, dude. They were predatory fucks is what these people were. And that's, as much as, you know, it's like, Jessie Lee, you got plenty of money, you can afford it. And she's been going off talking about like, oh, like, I'm so lucky I have this side hustle that pays me so much money. Like, she's said that multiple times, and it's pretty fucking gross that she literally uses her cancer diagnosis to prop herself up in her MLM. But regardless, it is still fucked up that she was preyed on like this. She was. These people, like, made her feel like her life was in danger, which obviously it was. And they're like, hey, like, if you want to survive, you got to start doing this. And it's like, at what point do you, like, you got to, like, if you're going to put a price on your life, like, she's just like, I don't give a shit. Like, start doing all of it. And they knew she was going to because she had money. It's just disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And you could argue and be like, well, like, she could have just like kept going to a normal doctor or whatever. It's like, I guess, yeah, maybe if she had insurance or something and was going through a regular doctor, then yeah, maybe she made the choice to go to this biohacking doctor. But to be fair, it sounds to me like the biohacking doctor she was going to, unless she's leaving stuff out, they're the ones who, like, found that she had cancer. So, like, if she had not gone there, like, would, you know, when it comes down to it, like, just going through the whole thing, I'm, like, mad at not only just, like, the American healthcare system, but also these, like, privatized clinics also did her dirty. And unfortunately, this is probably happening all over the place to so many different patients who aren't as financially blessed as Jessie Lee Ward is. And that part gets me. It pisses me off. I mean, like, yeah, I'm pissed they did this to Jessie, but I'm more pissed that they're probably also doing this to people who can't fucking afford that. You know? They just confirmed what the MRI showed. Didn't she get the MRI? She said she went to that some place that starts with a P, because she was trying to go to, like, regular doctors, and none of them would give it to her because she said that they were saying she was too young, and, like, she had to have it, like, special ordered and stuff, and she had to, like, go looking around, and they gave her a full body MRI for $2,500. I think that was a private practice. The alt medicine sounds unethical at minimum. Sure, yeah, listen, the whole thing, all of it is unethical. I'm sorry, like, as much as I want to be like, yeah, doctors are the way to go, like, the American healthcare system, like, trust your doctor and stuff, I will be the first to admit that it is not perfect. As a matter of fact, I fucking can't stand the American healthcare system. I think it's so fucked up. We don't have to get into that, but like there's just a lot of aspects of it that I'm just like, this is fucked up. And to hear Jessie talk about it this way, I'm just like, yup, fucking confirmed. Like everything about this fucking sucks. And if this is happening to her, it's happening to people who are less fortunate. It's fucked up. Yeah, Pernuvo, that's what it was. Yeah, nobody deserves this no matter how much money you have. That being said, they did this to her, they're doing it to people who are less fortunate, and that's awful. It's fucking awful.
Very expensive. They had already made a ton of money off of me, and now immediately, boom, this is one of the first times I went, oh.
Is she
you
too
care
loud?
way more about my money than me surviving this. And so I severed relationship with that doctor. I don't talk about this doctor. I don't use the name. I don't tag him. I don't say anything, whatever. But that's the truth of all of it. Here's the invoice, just transparency.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Biohacks, yeah. I can't really see all this. I think DC might have sent... Is this part of this? Oh, hello. Let me see if DC sent me this. Oh, that was the biohacking. Oh, yeah, here it is. Please hold. How do I, like, look at this full screen? Oh, shit. Okay. This is kind of blurry here, but $52,850. Yeah, this is everything she was charged for. Oh, there was 2 pages to it, I guess, but $10,000 for a deconsulting fee. What the fuck? Once a week is an injectable, like, I don't really know exactly what I'm looking at here because I'm not a professional in all this, but there are some smart ass people in the chat who probably can read this a lot better than I can. Yeah. Magnesium glycinate for $480? That sounds insane. Vitamins and like, wow. Technology fee, $1,500? Yeah. I feel fucking bad for her, dude. I really do. I honestly do. Fucking sickening.
Oh, so from there on February 10th, so February 6th the results came back. February 10th, finally I get a consult.
Wait, so
with
is
the
she
GI
is
doctor,
she
which I know might sound like,
volume okay, or
finally,
should I
it's
turn
only
her
4
up?
days. All we were doing was calling doctors. We were calling every single doctor's office in the area to try to get some kind of meeting with somebody who would listen to me and say, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. So we have the consult with the GI doctor on the 10th, and then I'm getting frustrated because it's like every day that goes on, it feels like 10 days. Like it's another day I'm waking up miserable, upset, sad, scared, defeated, right? And then it's
this was right as she was finding out about the cancer. She had that Zoom call with the doctor on the plane, and they're like, here, you have the cancer or whatever, and then they're like, here's this protocol, and she's like, I don't care, just charge it, do it. So they like broke the news to her, and she was like, yes, please, give me all the things. And then they like billed her for it. The volume's good?
And another day, and another day. So
Turn
finally,
her up
February
a little
16th,
bit.
I reach out to my
Just a
friend,
little
Dr.
bit.
Gabrielle Lyon, who
How's
I'd
that?
like to give a big shout out to. Y'all should follow her. She's amazing. She's a lot of very high profile people's doctor. She also does a lot of peptide stuff, and she's got her own meal plan stuff. You should really check her out. She's an amazing woman. And I met her. I texted her and I just said, hey, can I ask you some questions? And I just asked her super open, super honestly. I said, I'm working with this doctor. Here's all this stuff that's happening. I think I might have colon cancer. I'm pretty sure I do. Do you mind if I kind of talk to you? And she like calls right away. And she's like, we've got to get you in for a colonoscopy. I'm like, I know, but we've spent the last 7 days now calling for colonoscopies. The next available colonoscopy in the state of Texas is the end of April. Nobody's listening to me about how I have this MRI. What good's an MRI? Nobody's listening about the Gallery Grail test. They don't think it's a real test. The medical system is so corrupt, right?
Valerie,
I've
thank
got
you for
these
joining.
2 cancer signals, and they're telling me that it's no big deal, that I can basically ignore it. Oh, we'll take you non-emergency at the end of April. And Lord knows, maybe I would have been dead by the end of April. You know, like you have no idea. And so extremely corrupt. Or you're too young for a colonoscopy is another one, because if you don't know, 34 years old. So,
Oh, there she is. She said it. Yeah, this is fucking sad. No one was taking her seriously. That's exactly why I'm like saying, dude, it's fucking heartbreaking that she was going through this shit. and knowing how severe it is now, like obviously she eventually got diagnosed with stage 4. But at this time, she didn't know it was stage 4. At this time, what she's talking about right now, she just knew she had cancer. She didn't know what stage it was. She knew she needed additional testing to be able to find out how severe it was. It's just so messed up. So many things failed her, dude, and it's messed up. It's messed up.
February 16th, I have that phone call with Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and she calls the #1 GI doctor here in the great state of Texas in North Dallas, and she says, I have a friend, she needs colonoscopy emergency, she has an MRI that's abnormal, and she has a Gallery Grail test which says that she is positive for colon cancer. And big old shout out to Dr. Brown. Immediately, I am in the next morning for a colonoscopy, 7 a.m. And I won't ever forget this.
That's good.
I go in, he comes in early to take me before all his other patients. I wake up, we're talking entrepreneur stuff. He says, you know what, I think your brother might be right. Maybe it's just an infection. I wouldn't worry about it. Wake up, and I knew right away. I knew it was cancer immediately. And this was the day of my diagnosis, February 17th, 2023. I knew because I wake up and I can hear the person with the sheet over here being told, everything's okay, everything looks good, no polyps, we'll see you in a couple of years. I hear the person behind the sheet over here when I wake up from the colonoscopy, oh, Mr. blah, 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 2 polyps, no big deal, we took them out, not a problem, see you in 2 years. And then I see my doctor walk by really fast right in front of me, and the nurse comes in and she says, oh, Dr. Brown is meeting with another patient, he's busy, he'll be out as soon as possible, but we're gonna go ahead and put you in this room over here, he'll meet you there as soon as he can. And I'm like, I know it's cancer.
It's fucking heartbreaking.
And we walked in there, and I sat down, and I knew right away. He took out his images in the MRI, which I can show you guys, and her colonoscopy. And he said, his bedside manner is great. He just puts his hands on his knees, and he looks at me, and he's like, Jessie Lee, I wish I were telling you that 99% I'm looking at colon cancer, but I'm not. I'm 100% looking at colon cancer. You need to have surgery. You need to take care of this. This is advanced, and it looks weird. It looks strange. And that's when I started realizing gene mutations and all this kind of whatever. And I just said, okay. And I knew, because like I told you, and I just get up and I walk outside, and he's walking me to the car. My assistant Carissa had come to pick me up from the colonoscopy, and I don't know why it was her and not anybody else, but it was Carissa. And I get in the front, or right before I'm about to get into my car, I said, hey, I'm just wondering, what stage do you think this is? And he said, honestly, I'd say at least stage 3, which is like, because I'm like, all right, okay, it's cancer, like stage 1. And there's no good cancer, so like, please don't misunderstand me, but even stage 3, I'm like, oh no, so it spread somewhere, but maybe it's, okay, so it's spread like nearby or something, like maybe this will be okay, like it's no big deal. And then I had my first CT scan on so then on this 20th, so February 17th was colonoscopy and diagnosis. February 20th, I had my first consultation with my surgeon, Dr. Macaluso, going over the results of the colonoscopy. February 22nd was my first CT scan. February 23rd, I went to another second opinion with Dr. Salgado at Southwestern, Texas Southwestern, or UT Southwestern here in Dallas. That was an amazing hospital. I really like that doctor, by the way. Kind of wish I had used him. But anyway, February 25th. So I was able to get the next available surgery, which was February 25th, and that is when I had my resection surgery. So these next images are pretty graphic and gross and disgusting, but before I tell you about that, I have to tell you back about pulling together the Columbia trip and the bleeding and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I get into surgery, I'm wheeled in, and I'm chatting with the nurses, and I just said, hey, just so you know, I've been bleeding for 4 months. I've been bleeding since November 22nd.
By the way.
November, December, January, February. 4 full months at this point in time. I said, I'm bleeding a lot, at least once a week. The whole day will be gigantic clots. And so I'm just letting you know at some point, since I'm here, and I don't think I use menstrual cups, by the way, just like maybe FYI, you should all use them. Throw away your tampons and your pads thing.
Okay. Listen, let's not demonize some tampons and pads and shit, man, because, like, I tried the menstrual cup. This is TMI. I tried it. It grosses me out. I can't fucking do it. It's nasty. It's nasty, okay? If you use a menstrual cup, and I know a ton of people love it, good for you. I can't do it. Like, I have a pretty strong stomach for a lot of things, but, like, menstrual blood is kind of, like, snotty, like, mucusy. Ugh. I can't. And then you, like, take it out and you have to, like, you see it. At least when it's in a tampon, it's, like, absorbed, you know? And then, like, the rest of it falls into the toilet. I can't do it. I understand, like, the money-saving part of it, and there's probably other good reasons for it, too. But, like, I can't. I fucking can't. It's nasty. It grosses me out. Also, like, for me, maybe I just had one that was, like, too big or something. I don't know. But it would, like, block my pee. Like, I would struggle to pee wearing it. So, yeah. But, it's a lot of washing. It's just gross. I can't. But I'm glad other people like it. Listen, if it works for you, that's great. But for me, I can't. It grosses me out. I fucking can't do the mucusy shit. Oh. Play, Jessie.
Chemicals.
Chemicals.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, you can get organic tampons and stuff. But not only that, like, are there no chemicals in a cup you put up there? Like, there's gotta be, right? Like, what are you talking about? It is uncomfortable. To me, it was. Well, I don't know. Only when I was peeing, like, I could notice it was there, and I'm just like, I still have them just in case, like, if I ever run out of tampons or something, like, I have a backup, but I didn't like it. It's not for everybody.
I said, I'm probably going to bleed all over the place. And it's like a lot of blood. And she said, oh, honey, don't worry about it. Periods are totally normal. Everybody should talk about them more often. And I'm like, I'm not, like, nervous about my period. I'm just letting you know you might be changing a massacre multiple times a day. And she's like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. It's okay. We're used to it. We're nurses. I was like, all right, cool. So get wheeled into surgery. I go back, and here's kind of the crazy thing. So have surgery that morning, had some amazing people fly in. Like, you can see a photo of everybody who was at my bedside after the surgery. It was pretty amazing. But the craziest thing of all of this, I'll leave it here, and then I'll continue in the next one. So make sure you're subscribed and you follow along, because clearly you can see there's a lot of details. There's a lot going on. The bleeding immediately stopped. And if you look at, stand up.
But see, like, that's what I don't get, though. Because what she's suggesting here is that, like, it was menstrual blood, but they did the resectioning of her colon and her intestines and stuff, and that made the bleeding stop. So, like, what could have caused that? Why would it? I think someone earlier was saying, like, a lymph node situation, but I'm like, yeah, what? I mean, this is where I'm like, the human body is so fascinating, dude, but, like, I don't get it. I'm an idiot. I don't know. But if the bleeding wasn't coming from her butt, which is where the tumor was, it was coming from her cooter in her uterus, and then once she got her colon resectioned, it stopped. Like, what caused it to bleed in the first place? Fucking fascinating. Sorry.
If you look at uterus, organs, reproductive organs, and you look at
She's
the
live on
cecum,
Instagram right now.
you look at where your large intestine and your small intestine, your appendix, etc.
I'm blocked on her Instagram.
These two giant organ bodies, they touch.
Maybe she's on Facebook.
And if that just ultrasound rep or
Sorry.
the OBGYN I went to that was highly recommended would have taken the imaging and gone like this, or paid attention to what was pushing on my uterus just like this, they would have seen it. They would have known, boom, immediately in January, something is wrong. Something
She
is
is
going
live
on.
right now.
This is not normal behavior.
Wait.
Because as soon as that tumor came out, which graphic images I can show you, my bleeding stopped.
Okay, good. I had this blurred. She's live on Facebook right now. Very important colon cancer update.
I just want to let you know that all disease, your liver in size.
Wait.
And I said,
Everyone's like cancer free. Happy for you. Praise God.
I just wanted to make sure, so I go, is this good news? He said, yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to keep doing it. You need to keep doing it. I was like, hey, I just want to thank you guys so much for all your prayers and your energy, and certainly some of your recommendations for stuff. It's been a really crazy journey. I feel bad not being able to do all the things I've been able to do in the past, but healing me is the most important, so I'm around for a really, really long time. So that's all right. Praise God. Oh, it's amazing. Like, this is just unbelievable, amazing news. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, I'm doing a free recruiting webinar. So you guys should go register for that.
Sake.
It's in my stories
on
Facebook, on Instagram, on my page, on everything. I'm going to do a full hour next Saturday. But anyway, I'm feeling like I'm being here for a long time, y'all. So I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for all the prayers, thoughts, and everything. It's really amazing
rewind.
Because when I think about it, so many people were like, oh no, she's being so dangerous. She's showing people, is it like dangerous things? Your body can heal, and this is just proof of that. And so I knew I looked good, I mean, my hair is like luscious, like a lioness, and my skin's crazy. Whatever. I feel great, but I just wanted to update you guys, and tell you, I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you. Keep the prayers coming. We are not no evidence of disease yet by any means, but we are literally proven now from scans reversing stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. And let's just keep it going. So positive mindset, positive vibes, good food, raw food, like whatever, the best supplements, the best treatments. I just love it. So I love you guys. So go watch the YouTube for those of you that wanted to have a little update on what's going on. I just started that started the colon cancer journey over there. That's it. I don't want to go this on and on and on and on, but I love you all. I appreciate you.
Is that it?
You so much. Heal. I want to say, because Chase Baldmo and his wife, you guys, you're actually shouted out in one of my second video, so you'll see a bunch of stuff over there. Hello. But from day one, Chase said, you don't have to do chemo. You don't. And I asked him one question that I asked all the oncologists. So it's 8 oncologists. I said, I literally pointed at his wife and I said, if it were her, would you tell her to do chemotherapy? And he said, no. And that just had a big shift in me, because I went, all right, let's do this. So now I'm sweating, I'm schwitzing, I'm so excited. We're going to keep juicing, we're going to keep going. I love you all so much. God bless you all, and thank you for being part of this journey. Let's go. Have a great night.
Let me see if... does it upload the replay right away? Because I want to be able to rewind to the beginning. Ozzy, thank you for renewing your membership. Let me see here. Oh, God damn it. Are you fucking serious, Jessie? Okay, well, maybe we'll check. Sorry for that jump scare there, too. We'll come back and see if maybe we can watch the beginning of that, but... Yeah, Hannah, that's what I'm thinking, too. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So, again, I'm not a medical professional, and I actually have no knowledge of cancer or how it works or anything at all. But to me, this just seems too good to be true, especially having stage 4 cancer. And you know what? If she's telling the truth and the doctors are telling the truth and everything's good, and this isn't just some kind of coping mechanism to be I'm good, yay. I fucking hope that it's exactly what her doctors are telling her that it is. However, I can't be that optimistic for her, because how? She has stage 4 cancer and she didn't do chemo. She had resectioning done or whatever, yeah. But all she's been doing since then, Elise, thank you for becoming a member. All she's been doing since then is putting coffee up her butt, hanging out in red lights and meditating, drinking a shitload of juice, which she was saying before that vegetables were making her inflamed, but now she's drinking vegetables all the time. So it's Well, Traces, that's why I wanted to go to the beginning and rewind it, because you said denial's a powerful thing. But if a doctor's telling her, I don't know, was it a doctor, was it a naturopath, who's telling her what? Yeah. I don't know if it's denial if a doctor or a medical professional that she trusts is telling her that she's Better. I don't know. B, yeah, well, we kind of caught the end there. Let me try to refresh again. I'll refresh it from another screen. Oh, I guess you guys don't have it pulled up for me. Okay. Yeah, no, I wanted to watch the beginning of that live. Oh, okay, wait. I think it's up. How long is this live? It was only 6 minutes long. Okay. I just want to see
Hello, everybody.
what she says at the beginning here. Because we only caught the last couple minutes where she was basically like, yeah, they said I'm better, basically. So,
Buddy, what's going on? It's
get
Jessie
the full
Lee.
context here.
You can call me Boss Lee or the People's Mentor. And I wanted to come on here first of all and say thanks to all of you who have been watching my YouTube channel that I just really kind of launched, I guess, with the step one, episode 1 of my colon cancer journey, so I can answer all your questions. Episode 1 is mostly about diagnosis and
yeah, that's what we're watching and reacting to right now,
symptoms and stuff like that. So check it out. It's I'm Boss Lee over on YouTube. That's just my like little announcement about that. But that's not my announcement. Hi. Where are you guys watching from? How long you been following me for? What do you call me? Do you call me JL? Do you call me J Lee? What do you call me? I don't know. Like, what is my name for you? I don't know. So you guys are liking the YouTube video? Great. So this is a really big, okay. So for those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed in February with stage 4 metastatic colon cancer, because of my prognosis that they tried to give me of dying before Christmas, before November.
They tried to give her?
Is when they said I would be dead. I decided to take a completely holistic route on this journey. I decided to transform my entire life. I decided to go completely different nutritionally wise. I decided to follow more of a holistic oncologist route and not be super against chemo or anything. I'm not trying to convince anybody to do anything you don't want to do, but I decided that that was definitely the right route for me to go and just try to heal from all of this. So if you don't know, in the ER about 3 weeks ago now, I took myself to the ER. I had a lot of pain in my upper abdomen, which I knew that I had lymph nodes that had cancer, had disease in them, and my neck and my trachea as well, which is why I was stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. It had gone to lymph nodes that were very far from the cecum and colon, large and small intestine. So you can check all that out on YouTube. But anyway, I want to make this really short, fast, sweet, to the point, because I just thank so many of you for following me on my journey, being such positive supporters for the most part of everything that I've chosen to do. There are, of course, people that are bashing me, but there always will be, because like they hate me because they ain't me. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that any of us are bashing you for the cancer. Like, maybe we're bashing her for not taking it as seriously as some of us would have wished that she would have. But I feel like we all do wish that she gets better. It's just, I don't know. It seems, I don't know. Sorry.
So I was really nervous. I felt like my oncologist, traditional oncologist at Texas Oncology, was kind of pushing me away a little bit. Not intentionally maybe, but just I kind of felt like he was pushing me. Wasn't answering the phone calls. We were calling repeatedly. He did not call back Friday. He did not pick up when we called him on Friday.
That's a shitty oncologist.
Monday came around. I'm like, this has been 2 weeks. And on Monday, I'm like, this is crazy. What is going on? And then I land today in LA. I'm here in LA, by the way, so hi, Malibu area. And so I'm really nervous. I'm in the car and I'm kind of delaying it. And just because, you know, I'm getting used to hearing not like the greatest news, you know, because that's kind of how stage 4 colon cancer goes. And I call my doctor, and I mean, I'm smiling, so you probably know it's a really good update, which awesome, amazing. Basically, my doctor picks up, he goes, hey, Jessie Lee, how are you? I said, I'm feeling great, which is what I've always said for those of you who have been asking, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I keep saying, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling great. And people are like, no, tell me how you really feel. I really do feel great. And a little gassy, but that's vegan's fault, okay?
Yeah, but she was saying all that before. Like, when we were calling her out for looking sickly, she was like, I've never felt better in my life. And now she's like going back in the video we were reacting to. She was saying like, oh yeah, I was tired and I was this and blah, 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 blah. But now she's like, no, I really do feel great. I say I feel great because I really do feel great. So how are we supposed to believe you, dude? Anyway, sorry.
I'm vegan now, raw vegan. You know, it's a lot of rumbles in the jungles, okay? Which I will stay rumbly forever if it means what I got today, which I don't want to wait anymore, make you wait any longer. He picks up and he says, so comparing your CT scan from February with contrast and everything to your CT scan from now 3 weeks ago, I just want to let you know that all disease is stable, and then some disease is reversing. Your lymph nodes have not grown at all. They are reducing in size. And I said, I just wanted to make sure, you know, so I go, is this good news? He said, yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to keep doing it. This is, you need to keep doing it. I was like, is that it? That's all.
Okay, that's where we cut in there. So, okay, we're up to speed on that. Okay, so she's stable. She's not like in remission. She said that the lymph nodes were getting smaller. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. I guess only time will tell. But you know what? This, and this is just speaking from opinion here, and it's not a medical opinion at all, but this scares me. And the reason I say this, and while obviously I hope she is, you know, I hope the doctor's not giving her false hope or anything. I hope that she is doing okay. The issue is what I've been saying the whole time, is that when she has an audience of people, hundreds of thousands of people who follow her, and she's just like, the past few months she's been going live while she's doing a coffee enema, or she's just talking about all these, like, she's juicing, doing nothing but drinking juice. She was talking about going on a dry fast, literally not drinking water for days at a time, so that in theory, her theory was that when your stomach runs out of food, your body starts eating everything. And her idea was that it would start eating the cancer, when it's like, no, if you don't have food, then your body eats fat. And when it runs out of fat, then it eats muscle, and then it eats your organs. Like, that's how it goes, from my non-medical understanding. No, she, like, just dangerous thing, literally not drinking water, like, a lot, like, people can die after, like, 3 days of not drinking water, okay? She's doing dangerous and, like, irrelevant things. She was getting, ozone IVs, which ozone is I think a toxic gas, I think that's what it is, or something, maybe not a gas, I don't know exactly what it is, but, like, they were pumping that into her veins. Lots of alternative treatments, which, again, like, I've said this before, and I know a lot of us have said it, but, like, if we were in this situation, it's like, you have stage 4 cancer, so, like, better do something about it. Like, I think most of us would be in the same boat doing this too, alongside probably chemotherapy. Like, I don't know, dude, like, she refused chemotherapy from the start, and now she was just saying in this live we were just watching, she was like, yeah, my doctor said that he wouldn't recommend chemotherapy, and all of us have kind of, like, speculated that, like, she let it go for so long, she was already stage 4, and then went months without doing the chemo, so, like, it could have progressed, and then at that point it's like, well, chemo's not going to really do anything for you, and you're not going to have a quality of life, so why even bother? It's like those kind of things. Hopefully it's not just a fluke. I don't know what else to say, dude, because, like, I just don't like the idea of other people who are in her audience, like, watching this and being like, oh, she's been shoving coffee up her butt for the past however many months, and now her lymph nodes her cancer on her lymph nodes is shrinking. Like, I guess I'll do that instead of chemo. That's what scares me. And, like, every time I say that, I get people in the comments who are just like, wow, it's like, you're not really giving anyone enough credit to make, like, decisions for their own health like that. And it's like, why would I give people that credit? Like, we live in the age of, instead of getting a vaccination, people were taking fucking horse paste, you know? Like, I don't trust people, and I trust doctors. I trust people who have been through much more education, medical training, all that, like, hands-on experience than I've obviously have. I will trust that over shit I see on the internet and shit that, like, someone who's not a doctor tells me to do. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of people in this world who don't agree with that, and who are just like, no, I would rather eat horse paste, you know? So no, I don't trust people to make their own medical decisions. Jessie Lee didn't listen to certain doctors who said she needed to get chemotherapy, so why should I? You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys hear what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, she is taking dewormer, dude. Like, that That was just an example, but yeah, she was going, hold on, I'm gonna turn my light down. It's getting dark. Yeah, she was straight up saying, she did like TikTok shit where she started to take dewormer. This is dangerous, guys. That kind of shit is dangerous and not proven to be effective. And now if Jessie Lee is sitting here being like, oh yeah, all this stuff that I have been doing has been effective, then that is opening the door. Even if it's just one person who's going to turn around and be like, well, I saw Jessie Lee go through stage 4 cancer and not get chemo, so I'm not going to do it either. I'm just going to put coffee up my butt. Like, that kind of stuff, I'm like, that is where the issue lies for me, personally. No, she's 34. She's 34. I know most of you guys understand what I'm saying. Yeah. We have a little bit more. How much more of this is there? 4 minutes. Okay. Well, we'll finish this video here. I'm sure she'll say a few other crazy things, but like, yeah, do I want her to get better? Yes. Do I want her spreading medical misinformation on the internet when maybe she's a one-off? Maybe she's part of the 14% that will live past 5 years after having stage 4 cancer. Yeah, I hope that she is. But like, the harm that she could be doing to other people who are taking advice, like watching her journey and being like, I'm going to do that too, now that I have stage 4 cancer, it's dangerous. Period.
Had a normal cycle ever since then. It was because of the tumor. And then I'll leave you with this, and we'll kind of continue onward with this in regards to what I'm doing for healing and how everything's been. And if you think I've even started anything, there's a lot.
Jesus
We've chronicled
Christ.
everything. Okay. Shout out to Carissa. She chronicled this. She's got all of the information for insurance purposes because they are saying this is a pre-existing condition, which is pretty crazy. But on March 1st, my pathology came back, and that was when we found out, and that was when I was stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. The cancer had not only been a tumor here in my down here by my cecum, in the large intestine, small intestine area, etc. It had metastasized to local lymph nodes. 26 of 30 lymph nodes had cancer in them. And then the reason it was stage 4 is not because of the lymph nodes, but because it had metastasized to lymph nodes in my trachea, my neck, and also my stomach.
Okay, so it seems like, I don't know, let me know if you heard that differently, but to me, I heard that not that the cancer is in her what did she say, trachea and her neck, it's in the lymph nodes that are in her trachea and her neck, not actually like in her stomach, in her trachea, like they're in the lymph nodes that are around that area. That's how I understood it. But then she also was having like stomach pains and she went to the ER, and it's like, I don't know. It's so hard, dude. It's so hard to know.
So, praise God, it is not in any of my organs. My immune system has started to kick on, which I'll talk about more in some further videos, which is really good. I'm really positive about this, and I just want to share this entire journey because I want people to know what to look for, what works, maybe what doesn't work, maybe what's going on with your life,
How are you
etc.
supposed to know? She's throwing the kitchen sink at it. She's doing so many things, and she's like, I'm gonna let you know what did work and what didn't work. How can you differentiate? Like, if you did 20 different like holistic remedies or whatever, and maybe perhaps one of them worked, how do you know which one it was? You know? Huh.
Things very seriously. Cancer is, it's time for another video probably, but it's the most humbling journey I've ever been on. It has made me realize so much more who's real, who's not. It's been amazing to see people who are so supportive. It's also amazing to see people who still have so much hate toward me for whatever. It's been
I mean, those of us who have hate towards you, it's not because of your cancer, and it's not at the what's the word I'm looking for? Expense of your health. Like, those of us who, like, we've been talking about her since way before she had cancer. Those of us who have hate towards her, I don't hate her. I don't know. I mean, I hate the way she makes her money, and I hate the way she runs her business. But as a person, I have empathy for her, and I wish the best for her. But like, we've been talking about her for years because she's a scammer. She's made her money. She's made millions of dollars in her career by literally scamming people. So that's, I don't know why people have so much hate towards me. It's like, I don't know, because you're like, you're an unethical millionaire. Like, so there's that. There's that.
Amazing, incredible, eye-opening, revolutionary last couple of months, and I want to keep documenting this for you, and I have so much more to take you through, everything from medical things that I've done, treatments that I've done, scans that I've done, places I've been, whatever. I want to take you through all of it, because it doesn't start just with diagnosis, it starts with diagnosis, but it certainly doesn't end there. And I hope, if nothing else, it gives some people like you hopefully a lot of hope. And I guess I can leave it with one more crazy thing, because I know you'll want to come back. At that time,
Okay.
I was also told that I was not going to see Christmas. So
Well, it's
here
not
I am,
Christmas yet.
basically in July 2023. Hopefully I don't look like somebody to you that is going to be dead in the next 4 months. But I was told October, definitely not making it to Christmas. And
So here's my question, and again, like, I don't really have a lot of personal experience with cancer, and I'm not a medical professional, but from what I understood, like, stage 4 cancer, like, the way it kills you is it makes your organs kind of like start to shut down and stuff. So isn't that something that can happen fairly quickly? Like, once that process starts, it's like, it's really fast from what I understood, if you're not getting like proper treatments. You know, if you're, I guess, actively getting chemo, you're probably slowing it down or something like that. But my understanding was that, like, once it hits your organs, if it keeps growing, like, that's it. And she's not getting chemo. So as much as I don't want to be like, yeah, you only got 5 months left to live, because it's July, Christmas is in December, we all know that gives her 5 months. She doesn't look like someone who's like on death's doorstep to me, in my personal opinion. She doesn't look great. Like, she's looked healthier, but she doesn't look just like she's not gonna make it another day, you know what I mean? So with how fast I'm pretty sure cancer can go from 0 to 60, my grandpa got diagnosed and died from colon cancer in 3 months. Stage 4 is his final stage. Right, but you can slow it down, though. But she's not doing what like, I guess, modern medicine doctors are saying that she should. You know what I mean? There will be a stabilization before the storm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But, like, for her to be like, I don't look like someone who's going to die in 5 months, right? It's like, no, not right now. But, like, it can really just, like, turn around and end things so fast. So my grandpa lived 10 months with stage 4. Oh, grandma, she seemed like she was doing well just weeks before she died. Then it hit her fast at the end. Yeah, see, that's what I've always heard. So, like, as much as she's like, no, I look healthy and I feel healthy, right? It's like, that can change really fast. And that's scary. That's the scary part for me. And not even if it wasn't Jessie, like, just anyone, dude. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Things can go downhill very rapidly. She's lucky things are stable right now. I mean, I hope they stay that way, and that's all I can say, really. I mean, she did say that a doctor told her that you can go from looking healthy like her to very sick quickly. Did she say that? I don't remember her saying. In this video she said that, or like somewhere else? Maybe. My maternal grandmother had breast cancer. She was also diagnosed at stage 4, but with chemo and radiation she lived 7 years. Right. But Jessie's not doing those things, so everyone's body makeup is different. We're all complex stardust, man. Yeah. Right, yeah. And like I said, like, she's throwing the kitchen sink at it, so, like, she's doing literally everything that she possibly can except for, like, chemo and radiation. But, like, maybe those things are slowing it? They could be, you know? I guess it's just really, no one knows. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know, but, like, I don't know. For her to be like, do I look like I'm going to die? No, but that can change, like, really fast. And I hate the idea that whatever doctor she was just on live, like, talking about, if he's giving her false hope is great, okay? I think people who have terminal illnesses like this and stuff, like, hope is really what's going to help them get through stuff and keep them in a positive mental state. But, it also makes me mad to think that a doctor could just be, like, shitting all over her and just be like, you're fine. And then, like, she's gonna get a huge reality check soon. And that, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We'll
And so
finish this.
just if you're struggling or battling or fighting or someone you love is, I would just ask you to maybe share it with them. Share just this last part with them and you can share more with them. But don't give up hope. Your mindset is super strong as long as you keep it strong. You can fight and you can heal and you can do this. And just because somebody gives you a life expectancy, it doesn't mean that it's accurate. And something that I loved that a German doctor of mine...
I've always heard that, like, a lot of you guys have told me... Sorry about Griffin. He's excited about something. I've always heard a lot of you guys tell me that, fuck, what was I gonna say? I got distracted by babies screaming. What was I saying? Brain. I don't remember what I was gonna say! I'll probably remember. Hold on. Give me a minute.
He said, I'm good, but I'm not God. And I think there's too many people out there, especially doctors out there, who really truly play God. And just because they know standard of care is chemotherapy, surgery, chemotherapy, and or radiation.
She did have
doesn't mean
surgery.
it's the only way. And so I hope I bring you guys some hope. I hope I have given you a lot of information today to maybe think about. And thanks for subscribing and following along. That's just video 1. I have a lot more to say, and I will. So I love you. I appreciate you.
The life expectancy card. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of you guys have told me that doctors aren't allowed to, like, or not that they're not allowed to, but they generally like to cover their asses. You know, they don't give you like a prognosis. I mean, maybe they'll give you like a wide range of like statistics, but they're not going to be like, you have 6 months to live. So, but also with her seeing like more holistic doctors and not like modern doctors, I guess, if that's the best way to put it, maybe they don't really adhere to those same rules. And then like for her, because if you guys remember, if you were here earlier when we were watching, the biohacking doctor she went to gave her an invoice of $52,000, over $52,000 of their protocol. So it's like, it's almost like maybe that prognosis, like if that doctor was one of the ones who were just like, you're not going to live to see Christmas, or if they were like, you're going to be dead by October, they could have been using that to get $52,000 out of her for their protocol, their bullshit protocol, which was all like vitamin injections and magnesium and all that stuff that we saw on there. So, you know, maybe they wouldn't adhere to that kind of code of ethics, you know.
I'm Jessie Lee. You can also call me Boss Lee. And this is step 1 of the cancer journey. And I hope you end up enjoying this series a lot.
The end. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that was the end there. Obviously she's going to be doing more here, so we'll cover it when she releases them. I don't think she's on an upload schedule or anything. I'll just keep an eye out. While this video was definitely sad because she's talking about her diagnosis, I get the feeling that the following videos, the ones that are going to come after this, are going to be like dangerous. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be, she's going to be talking about all the, like, here's what I did. I bought this $15,000 red light thing, and then I went and I bought all these special organic coffee beans, and I put them up my butt 3 times a day. Like, that's where this is all gonna go to eventually, and that's where I'm just like, stop. And, okay, I'm having, like, a hard time processing my emotions about this, because part of me, like, is happy that she's, at least this video, like, really wasn't that bad as far as like shitting on modern medicine and stuff, but I know the following ones are going to. But this one, I'm like, at the very least, like, maybe it seems like she could be giving hope to other people who also have stage 4 cancer, which I think is important. Like, if I had a terminal illness, because, like, I mean, I definitely know I'll Google anything that I think is wrong with me. Like, I remember the day I had Griffin, he went to the NICU because he had low blood sugar, and it was neonatal hypoglycemia is what it's called. So like I didn't sleep that night, even though I'm in a hospital without a newborn baby. Normally you're like not sleeping because you have a newborn baby, and you're up every 2 hours or whatever feeding and doing whatever because they're a newborn. For me, it was I was up all night Googling neonatal hypoglycemia. How long is my baby going to be in the NICU? How long this is, blah, blah, blah. What are the, like, could this cause any issues? You know, so to me, and that's why, like, I made a video about it. Like, I think he was probably like a month old or something at that point, but I have a video talking about my NICU experience with neonatal hypoglycemia, and it was because there weren't any other videos like of people, or like there weren't really people talking about their experiences and what happened to them, and like I had nothing to relate to, so I was just like mad Googling and like not having any sort of like, I don't know. Oh, Tammy, thank you for subscribing. So like in this situation, if I got a, like personally, if I got a terminal diagnosis like this, or a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, yeah, I'd be doing the same thing of being like, I just, like, someone tell me I'm not gonna die, you know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what I would have done. And a video like this that we just watched Jessie talk about, like, this is exactly what I would probably need to see, because the end there, she's like, I want to give people hope, and giving people hope, I think, is a really important part. Now, coming up, the next parts of this series that she's doing, I'm like, it's not going to be giving people hope. You're going to be giving people bad medical advice, very clearly. And that's where it gets dangerous for me. That's where I'm like, this is not okay. So, anyway, your daughter was in the NICU for 8 weeks. Oh, yeah, Griffin was only in there for, I think, 3 days. So we had to leave the hospital without him, but then we went back for him a day later. So thankfully it was only for one night, and Sparrow was at home. So we had to, like, I could have stayed in the hospital one more night and waited for him, but it's like we had Sparrow at home, and I mean, she was with her grandma, but like we didn't just leave her there. But yeah, no, that was a hard situation. But 8 weeks, I couldn't even fucking imagine, dude. That was, one night was hard, but yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated, as always. I'm glad you all were here and everyone was chill. Thank you to everybody. I am going to... Oh, wait, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I don't know when the next time I'm going live is. I think I'm busy this weekend, so... It will probably be next week, but take care of yourselves and each other, as Jerry Springer would say. In the wise words of Jerry Springer, take care of yourselves and each other. All right, thanks. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So